Ulonkata bati yada tó yẹ kó máa da ifá. Inú tó yẹ kó jẹun lọ fi bí pa. Ọba tálá, ọba takuntakun. Ṣàngó, Èṣù, Ògún, Ọya, Ọ̀ṣun. Ìwọ ló ń bọ̀ nílé. Kí ni ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ tán ṣe nílé yìí o? Ó jẹ́ lọ jára rẹ̀.
Peace, peace, Alafia.
Alafia, I what's good with you?
Peace, guy. How you feeling?
Man, I'm blessed. I can't complain at all, man. I woke up this morning. The rest of it's gonna be figured out, brother. That's how I see it.
I see. So I'm loving the title, man. Master Builders of the Ancient Americas.
Yeah, man. I mean, hell, it was your Ashe, you know what I mean, where it came from. So look, we just doing the whole collective thing, man. We're gonna make it do what it do collectively. That's how we rolling tonight.
I say. I know last time we had a couple people say we should expound it a little bit deeper into some stuff. So I don't want to ping pong into a lot of different conversations. I would like to go deeper. That's why I like your channel. It keeps going deeper and deeper into certain things, so we really learning. And we're talking about the builders, master builders. First off, you have anything? How's everything going in your way, like in life and business? You got anything going on in particular? Any events or anything going on?
Oh yeah. First and foremost, as always, I want to give thanks, to you, and thanks to the ancestors, and thanks to the creator, and thanks to all the community, the family masqueraders and the guardians and the protectors and the egg bait, all of them. But yeah, we got a lot going on actually, man. We got we're building. We're gonna be live almost every day this week, I think, outside of Thursday. So we got a big one tomorrow. We got a brother coming in talking about financial literacy and business, but how to kind of pair spirituality with business and how that they really are unified anyway. You know what I mean? So we're gonna be building on that tomorrow. Yep. Shout out to Wunam for making the connection for that one. So we're gonna have that tomorrow. Then Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken, I think we got Baba Yasir, Ra Hotep coming back in this thing to talk about the big ancient Kemet trip that he has going on in August. So we'll be promoting that. And we got I think Friday. Yeah, we mob deep this week, man. We mob deep. So we picking right back up where we left off last week. Shout out to brother B-Dell 1014 and the big chief Rod Hayes for burning this thing down last week. And shout out to the tribe, man. The tribe is steady growing. The positive energy, positive vibes are steady flowing, and we making it do what it do. And then I got a couple of other projects I'm working on behind the scenes that I look forward to bringing to the forefront, probably like mid to late summer, man. I had a real powerful meeting yesterday with some very, very new energy to the Ashe streets, but also some very powerful alignment. So we definitely got a lot rolling, man, and I look forward to making it do what it do. But you can show people better than you can tell them. So I look forward to doing that part too.
Yes, I like that. The show. Before anything, like you said, give big things to the ancestors. Tonight's a funny night. What's the date it is?
June 9th, 2025.
699.
Yeah.
So that was like one thing we're going to talk about tonight is our ancestors being into the cosmic sacred geometry, and nothing is coincidence. Everything happens in divine timing. So you know what I'm saying, may the ancestors guide our hearts and our tongues. You know what I'm saying? We don't say nothing to offend nobody or nothing disrespectful. What was the next thing we were going to tap into? Oh yeah. Yo pay, puyo, te fe, te yo pay. So these are some of the things on the tablets. They've been hiding on these tablets. The tablets are called, and I might be messing the word up, but these tablets are called Casca Hall block. The Casca Hall block is almost like the stone that they found in Egypt. I don't want to call it the Rosetta Stone. When it breaks down the language here is saying it's pretty much giving you little details of certain things. So I was learning about the basalt stone. Are you familiar with basalt?
I'm not familiar with that.
So quick question. And it's gonna be this sound crazy, but it's going all back around, right? How you feel about that whole FBA thing when people say about FBA?
Listen, I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't like speaking on stuff that I don't know about, or I'm not really, like familiar with or well versed in. But from what I do gather in regards to like this whole movement, I respect the fact of, the indigenous, brothers and sisters of the land, you know what I'm saying? Like who is claiming, to be indigenous and to be from the land, Turtle Island, America, whatever you want to call it, America, whatever you want to call it, right? But and I don't have information or data on the FBA movement to even comment on it for real. I don't like to speak on anything I don't know. But what I will say, and what I will speak on is the fact that I do see where there's a lot of division right now going on where people are claiming and repping I would assume the FBA movement or the, indigenous people from this particular landmass. But there's nothing wrong with that. I support that. I salute that. I respect all that. But what I don't respect and what I won't salute and what I won't be a part of is the division factor where I see that there are brothers and sisters who are indigenous to this land or this territory who are talking down on or talking against people who are from Africa, right? And that's where, for me, it becomes a problem because to me it's ignorance. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, as far as my research takes me, the oldest human remains that I know of with historical data and confirmations, confirmed research, were found on the continent of Africa. So therefore, until I have verifiable receipts where I can see that there were remains that were found here, as far as I'm concerned, from where my research and from what my teachers have taught me, humanity began in Africa. Regardless of that, it still doesn't matter because I'm looking at it at the end of the day, we are all still the same people. So let's just say, for shits and giggles, hypothetically speaking, it began in America. Okay, but where does that put you at a point where you want to be divided or going to, battle with the people who were in Africa? Because to me, it doesn't matter. We're all still children of the same universal prime creator. If we're talking from the cosmic level, if we're talking about the planetary level, we're all still children of the oldest human remains found, which I believe was Lucy. I forgot what the years was or whatever they called her. You know what I'm saying? But either way it goes, I feel like we need to focus more on being united and more on building, nation building. To quote the Honorable El Haj Malik El Shabazz, you know what I'm saying? Religion hasn't been working for us, so we need to put that in the closet and we need to come together and build, you know what I'm saying, a nation build until we can get this oppressor's boot off our neck. Once we get that done, then we go back, if it's necessary, to go into sorting out this whole religion or this whole territorial, I came from this land, I came from that land. Because as far as I'm concerned, I'm looking at if Africa's my mother, America's my father. If America's my mother, Africa's my father. Either way it goes, it's two legs of the same chain. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter to me. It's like a bicycle. You can't ride it with just one pedal. You got to have both of them. Is how I see it. But each his own.
No, now as far as the everybody has their little radical thing or whatever. My thing, I always stay away from the little gray areas because I don't do the title thing anyway. I be going to the source. And I like the whole FBA thing because they made a claim that it's putting something in their face. You see what I'm saying? The whole OLMEC situation, right? So first I say I release outdated truths. I replace them with higher perspectives. I'm gonna see this from a whole different perspective. An old, very wise pastor once said back in the day, what if everything was vice versa, right? So just like hypothetically speaking, when we said the oldest remains, the oldest remains was in Africa, they actually found some even older remains here in Florida, and even older remains than that in North Carolina. You see what I'm saying? Finding stuff every day. If you dig, the deeper you dig, the blacker it's gonna get. So I don't look at the political aspect of what the FBA doing. I respect what every black man is standing up for something. Because if you ain't standing for something, I off anything. I respect any black man that's standing for something, especially for the respect of these people. Right? I love it. You know what I'm saying? I don't do the respect thing, but that's the agents in it. And the agents, like I said before, they're not just CIA agents coming in spiritual warfare, everything else to make us look stupid and ignorant in what we got going on, or what anybody got going on. And that is black power. At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Whatever they want to call it, you know what I'm saying? I'll say to whatever. So, but I said that to say when it comes to that whole we're from here, and then all of a sudden, the deeper they're digging, more and more of our faces is popping up in these grounds. And like you said, the distraction is race, the distraction is division, the distraction is tribalism, the distraction is, but outside of that, because once people do their real research, if you do the research on the Nook civilization and look at the OLMEC, so you're familiar with the Nook?
Oh yeah, well, I'm familiar with the OLMEC. I know a little bit of the Nook civilization, but
So
like I said,
that whole West African, what you just said is all connected, and we can prove it. When Spaniards, when the Dutch, when the French, all these different people, when they start coming through and destroying, we're deleting that out of history like that didn't happen. We're allowing them to delete this out of history like it didn't happen. They came, they destroyed temples, they stole the gold. They came like Montezuma the second. If you do the research on all these different things. Now, like I said, past that, all that is just a blip into before what did we say, 1491, right? The book of 1491. Now before then, now we're talking about an ancient civilization in the Gulf Coast. We're talking about America, right? The Gulf Coast. What is the Gulf Coast? The Gulf Coast is all throughout Louisiana, Gulfport, Biloxi, Mobile, all throughout North Florida, all throughout West Florida. You see what I'm saying? You're in Tampa. That's Gulf Coast, ain't it?
Yeah, we're on the Gulf.
Back in the day, we used to call it the GGC, the Golden Gulf Coast. We used to laugh because they said Mississippi, right? And they had this whole algorithm for what Mississippi was, but come to find out, Mississippi, all right, so Mississippi has these things all up and down the rivers, right? And when you said we're all connected, Mississippi has these things all up and down the rivers.
Hold on, I'm gonna highlight you. Can you bring that? Can you bring it closer? I want to highlight you. I'm gonna pull off the screen while I pull you up on the highlight. Oh, hold up. Hold on. Let me move me. Okay.
You see? Now, I don't know if you understand what's in my hand right now, but granite and basalt are very, very strong stones. People don't even give you the whole name of it. It's called black basalt, right? You see what I'm saying? Black basalt is what they, and I haven't been to Mexico to see the OLMEC heads yet, so I'm going to go and by the research. The research says that they're made out of black basalt. It can be argued that they can be granite too, because there's a lot of magical properties that go into these stones. They're going back to stone builders, the builders of the so-called FBA. I'm not even saying the FBA thing, but the claim of our dominance right here in the Americas and in all the lands. Because I think, like you said, I'm on that spectrum where I think everybody's having the fullest conversation because we're indigenous to this whole universe. The indigenous Australians, the indigenous Asians, the indigenous, you know what I'm saying, the indigenous Filipinos, the indigenous. Why do you think all of a sudden we're gonna come to America and this is just the only landmass with nothing going on over here? That's what. But we got to really get out that mind frame that whatever cracker tell you. Anytime y'all listen to a documentary and the people that don't look like you trying to tell you something, you can't take it serious. Look at the artifacts and what the people are trying to tell you. Somebody that didn't have metal tools, didn't have a saw. I can drill, but somebody that didn't have a saw, you just saw the nose on that granite. That's very, very heavy. You see what I'm saying? Now, the reason I bring that up is because those statues in ancient America are older than Christianity. 1200 BC is older than Christianity, right? This 1200 years is a whole dynasty civilization they rocking out, and they're at this point in time. Now, the funny thing about it is, like you said, the distraction is to distract you with race and dumb shit. We're gonna argue about tribalism. We're gonna argue about the bare minimum basics, not understanding. Wait a minute, this is a culture of gemstones. This is a culture of meditation. This is a culture of shamanism. Look, check this out. In Mesoamerica, it's a serpent society, right? The temple of the jaguar / serpent society. When they're initiated, they said they have a whole thing with jade that they literally put in the middle of this ground, and people are not even understanding that when you take this thing out the ground, you're taking it from energy posts wherever it was laid. They put it there on purpose. You see what I'm saying? They're showing these jade figures on initiation. Now, funny thing is, a European's not going to understand that when they find these statues. They're not going to understand it. They don't do no spiritual studies, no research, none of that. Going back to the Nook, going back to ancient Nigeria, not Nigeria now, but ancient Nigeria, ancient Benin, ancient Dahomey. These are civilizations, samurai civilizations, dragon, serpent civilizations, are they not? Snoke stones look just like the stones all up and down the Mississippi River. The same exact way as the statues that they're finding all throughout the Gulf Coast of Mexico, which is similar. It's a boat ride away. If it wasn't for the Navy and everybody shooting you out the boat, you could swim from Gulfport to Mexico. You see what I'm saying? In a boat. So people are making it sound like it was easier to travel from all across the world, which they did do, because even on the hieroglyphics, you see them on boats. I don't know what you thought they were imaginary, but these statues are saying so much, and it's so powerful. They built these statues out of black basalt. Now I'm not like I'm a gemologist, but I'm still learning. So anybody that, like, this is what I'm doing, is open up conversations, because this is an avenue that all of us should be jumping in, because you might be a mineralogist. You should be talking about what kind of stones. If we are talking about, we're getting closer to the source, right? African spirituality, indigenous spirituality, cosmic spirituality. Like you said, it's all one. We all now, we passed the bullshit, we passed the race aspect. Now let's acknowledge who we are: a serpent people, a race of shamans, a race of medicine men. Wait a minute, they call those medicine men now drug dealers, because they also polluted the medicine, right? But we've always been a race of medicine men. We have statues here so ancient, bro. Going back to that, these are older than Christianity. If it's older than Christianity, right, that means it's older than Islam. It's a lot of stuff that they're throwing in, the little monkey wrenches to distract you and divide you. They'll say that these are Moors. But wait a minute, I just said that this was older than Christianity, right? Didn't Christianity invent Islam?
I've heard stories like that. I've heard it both ways though. I've heard where Islam was a spinoff of Christianity. I've heard well, yeah. I think I heard it more that way than Christianity being a spinoff of Islam.
I'm gonna put it just like this, because a lot of people don't know the history, and this is why it's important to study the history instead of just claiming whatever, right? When we study the history and start going through source and not being like brain fucked with these times, they're giving us timelines that don't exist and making up shit as they go. Shit don't make sense that they're telling you, because around the same time as the dinosaurs were running the earth is the same time a lot of shit. So something's not adding up for what they're saying. Not using the word. So we're from a serpent society. The OLMEC is a serpent society. The Z Nation, I might be saying it wrong. The Z Nation, Ron always get on to me about that. The Chi Nation is a serpent society, the same as the Homie, the same as Benin, the same as ancient Kemet, the same as ancient Egypt, the same as ancient India, the Nagas. And in each one of these places, you're going to see stones with black men's faces and black women's faces carved all in them. The largest statue of Asia is a black man, Buddha or Sambo. I'm sorry. They made us hate our gods. Sambo. When you hear Sambo, what do you think of?
It's tied to something more recently than the god. I can't think of it right now, but I know it's something that it's tied to. It's escaping my mind right now, but I know it's something that's more. If I'm not mistaken, does that have something to do with, like, kind of almost like the house, not the house Negro, but kind of like the blackface meme or mime or whatever you call it?
So the first thing you do, if I told you that they mimic Ronald McDonald off of Shango, they mimic Ronald McDonald off of Shango, would you believe me?
Well, that sounds about right.
Because they know how serious we are about our symbolism, our color, our tribalism. We're serious about this stuff, right? Sambo is the universal black god, which is so funny because what it leads into Best. That ancient calendar that everybody says is the Mayan calendar isn't the Mayan calendar. It goes even further. Like, I don't even like certain titles, because when you talk about Mayans and Aztecs, these are other groups of people that come later on and adopted things. But the OLMEC calendar, in the center of it, is Best. Best is an ancient deity. Some say it might be the Sambo energy. Sambo is an ancient black god. That's where they get the idea of Buddha when they want to whitewash Sambo. You know what I'm saying? So when people say, "Oh, Sambo's a sellout," or "Sambo's We don't. We're cursing ourselves. We don't even know Simbo's the black guy. Simbo's prophesized to be us right here in Florida, with locks in our head and doing the dance and doing the yoga. Who's doing it? If they prophesied this in stone, our ancestors put this in stone. G, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Now, white folks can say anything. Anybody can say anything, right? They can say, "Oh, these people were violent. These people were sacrificing. These people were doing what they were deemed to do." Because if you were a violent people, if you were a savage people, look up the pyramids that's in Mexico and how they're connected to the pyramids in Florida, all throughout Florida, all throughout Turkey Scratch in Tallahassee, Florida. The mount they put FAMU on top of the largest mound in Tallahassee. But the largest mound in Florida is in Turkey Scratch. It's right outside. It's in the Monticello. And it's the mounds in ancient OLMEC civilization. You know what I'm saying? So, yo, I mean, this is crazy to me. I'm finding this on the stones. They did have a language. The first thing most of these sites would tell you is, oh, they didn't have a written language. It's not making sense what you're saying. Did they have it? Are they the mother of culture or they're not? Because if you're saying they didn't have a language, now they did have a language. And their languages are called glyphs. And that's when we go back to that stone. It's always going back to the stones. The ancestors never left us. They left us the blueprints.
Right. Oh yeah.
And I heard talking about some, oh, you talking about altars, you talking about whatever, you know what I'm saying, on some scary stuff, but the ancestors left it right here in stone for you to see trooper in the stone. They talk about that all throughout the Bible. God said, if you carry these stones, in the Bible it says this, if you carry these stones to represent your tribe or your family from the beginning to end, each family has a stone, and you carry that stone until whenever they got blessed for having their stone on. So these stone is called the Casca Hall block. It has 62 symbols. And the funny thing about it is, like I said, they distract us with the race aspect of it, but it's not even up for debate. They're only showing you a handful of faces. They're lying about there's only 17 OLMEC heads. There's way more OLMEC heads than 17. They don't even show you. If they showed you the women, female OLMEC heads, it's undeniable. Like it sits from down the street. You know what I'm saying?
The ones we got images of is undeniable. Like we got, you know.
And I sent you a couple of basic ones. That's the mainstream norm. You got some of them that look like Soldier Slim. You got some of them that look like Michael Jackson before the surgery. But also it distracts us because there's another civilization called the Zolotech, and they go the same time frame as the OLMEC, and you can't deny it, bro. They got afros, big lips. They're doing the good times. The good times mural is on the walls down all through Mexico. So we don't have to argue that no more. That's for dummies. We're not even arguing that no more. Now, spiritual system rise, right? Like I say, this is it's beautiful to understand your culture is whatever you want it to be, number one. Whatever your spirit tapped into, because you have 12 DNA strands that, like you said, that DNA is those serpents. When you're looking at this right now, you're looking at Cameroon. You familiar with the Cameroon tribe?
Yes, sir.
So you know their symbols is a spider, and one of the symbols is the serpents going up into like the Thoth trident. It's all about DNA, tapping into it, tapping into your ancestors. Now that we understand, now that you understand what your ancestors are, now do we understand that we're dealing with gods and different energies? Yeah. And we should understand what the American gods are. The same way we know it, the same way we speak all these other gods. You can tell me about Zeus, you can tell me about Ares, we can talk about all these different guys, Thor, even though Thor's a knockoff, like I said, they'll make you Ronald Madonna, you on Shango. They Ronald Madonna you with Thor, you see what I'm saying? So, but neither here or there, you know, everybody got to get their dollar. That's how they survive. They can't create anything. You heard what they did with sinners?
Parasites. Nah.
Yeah, they said you know, he was like, yeah, you can't really do a sequel to Sinners. The brother that made it, Ryan Coogler. Yeah. So they said, yeah, don't worry, we'll figure it out. We don't need you. We already got the rights to just that. So they're gonna go on without him to make a Sinner sequel. They can't create anything. They can just leech off of whatever you do, and it's always been like Parasite. You see the Borg. I heard y'all talking about Star Trek on one of your last lives.
Yeah.
About Star Trek and Star Trek Discovery about being all about the mushroom. It's ran on mushrooms, but it's also ran on crystal technology. Funny, right?
Yeah.
Except for the fact that when you look at in Mexico at those ancient OLMEC pyramids, it's built like the Star Trek. It's built like the Enterprise, bro.
You mean the Enterprise is built like that pyramid? Listen,
the ball court. If you look at it, the ball court, the pyramid, the step pyramids at the top. The ball court comes with the arm here, arm there, so it looks like this. It looks like the Star Trek Enterprise.
Yeah.
Not to mention how they're aligning it with the stars. Fuck the distractions. They're aligning it with stars. Like it's perfect sacred geometry going back to that ancient mound builders or ancient masons. We're talking about block masons, stone masonry, right? So, yeah, man, mathematics. When we talk about mother culture, the reason they're calling it mother culture, the X comes to find out is our symbol. The plus sign is our symbol. You telling me we gave math? We gave mathematics? Like we always talk about supreme mathematics and we take it as a joke and we laugh at it. But no, they had these symbols on their glyphs like they really did this. The dots. This is how you connect the dots. Those are same glyphs. Do you know how many people create languages in Africa?
Man,
Africa has so many languages, bro. Like
I know there's a lot though. Yeah. No, I said I know there's a lot though, and even let's not forget the mounds that we have here in North America too. Like we a lot of people know about South America, but the mounds right here in North America, like the one of the most I feel like prolific set of mounds and probably like unknown is the Cahokia mounds in Illinois. You know what I'm saying? Like the Cahokia mounds, if I'm not mistaken, has like the biggest. I want to say the largest circumference or like, you know what I'm saying, like square footage or mile radius out of all of the pyramids, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember the exact measurements of it, but I know it's in the conversation with the largest pyramids on the planet, the Cahokia mounds. In regards, I think it's the base of it and the circumference of the length or the width, but whichever way, it's a very powerful testament as to who we are, what we are, and where we have been, you know what I'm saying, and where we are all across the globe, you know what I mean? And then to even go back to what we were speaking about earlier when we were talking about distractions, about the division and all that, you're right about that, because when I got kind of frustrated on one of the lives I was doing where it was a back and forth going on in the comments, and I kind of had to pause it and just address, like, listen, at the end of the day, I can't speak for nobody else, but I can speak for me. I'm a cosmic being. You know what I'm saying? I am a spiritual being having a human experience. Therefore, I'm not tied or limited to no territory on this planet or any other planet for that matter. You know what I mean? Because if we're going to sit here and go over arguing over territories and it started here, it started there and all that, like that's literally less than, let's just say that's a fraction of a grain of sand on the beach. You feel me? Into regards to how vast the infinite multiverse is. Not the universe, the multiverse. So it's like we sitting here arguing over some of the pettiest, dumbest BS I ever, you know what I'm saying, like heard of, and like really going back and forth. But if you really tapping into who and what you are as a child of the universal prime creator, the universal prime creator, then like what are we talking about here? Like, because we have historical data of our ancestors on many different planets and many different star systems, you know what I'm saying, all throughout the universe. So therefore it's like, why are we minimizing ourselves to, you know what I'm saying, to what we've already been, I would say, not a victim of, but a prisoner of, you know what I'm saying, prisoners of war. And we're sitting here still picking on and holding the BS that them same people that put us in captivity, you know what I'm saying, kind of like have force fed down our throat for us to even be in this situation to begin with. So that's why I'm like, I don't hear nothing about all that. It's about unity versus division, because that's what my mission is anyway.
I say. No, going back to you said one book. Just real quick, I'm gonna throw some books out there. Before Columbus, 1491, Mysteries of the Ancient America. That's a good one. And The Power of the Mask. When we were talking about Killmonger earlier, this is how you know they've always known this. You there, bro?
Yeah, I'm here. No, I highlight you. Like sometimes when you're making points, I'm gonna pull you up to the front and pull myself off.
I got you. These people have been knowing this for years. These people have been playing in our face for years. Okay, so Marvel's, let's say we already know who owns Marvel. It's not just say, it's not just enough to say a Caucasian owns Marvel Studios or Disney Studio or any of that. We know it goes higher in ranks with this, right? So whoever did Marvel, like my mom was in the military, and so was Stan Lee. People don't realize Stan Lee is a military. People don't understand that the media is ran by military people that's telling you what they want to tell you and got to distort the information because they have to tell you certain things and they got to lead you to a certain way. So when they came out with Black Panther, Killmonger's always been a thing in the whole situation. They knew exactly where Killmonger was from. Killmonger's never been from Africa. Killmonger was always from America, right? Killmonger was always called the Golden Jaguar, right? These people knew they were playing in our face the whole time. The Golden Jaguar is one of the deities in ancient America, in ancient OLMEC times. You see what I'm saying? The Jaguar warrior, it's a real thing. They're making it into comic books, but all these characters are real individuals, are real things that's going on in ancient America, American gods. So I thought that was funny about that Killmonger situation and how they played it out with Killmonger versus the Black Panther, and Black Panther being the African and Killmonger being the American. But they were telling you to your face he was the indigenous American, and they were just tribalism has divided everybody.
Right.
Mind you don't never hear Africans and Australians beefing. You see what I'm saying? You don't never hear Brazilians and the Australians beefing. Like we need to be like water and understanding. Like there's 9 ether beings and there's 6 ether beings, and that's really what we're at war with. Nobody wants to have that conversation.
Well, yeah.
No,
I mean to cut you off, and it's not, and I'm not gonna waste too much more time with this, but I'm gonna say something on it one more time. I don't know who M Lola is. I've never seen this name, but I don't know how long you've been watching the channel. But there hasn't been a time I haven't spoke about the unity and not addressing the division between the Americas and Africa. So I'm gonna reiterate that again because when we have had other guests on here, yes, people have said Egypt is in America. Okay, cool. It doesn't matter to me because, like I said, we're talking about planetary territories. I'm not a person who's going to argue over territories on a planet when I know my spirit is a universal spirit. It's the spirit that travels the universe. My soul comes from the universe. It will return to the universe, the universe. So if you come in here with that, you're trying to make the argument that I don't say anything about the America-Africa thing because of the guests. You clearly ain't been watching this channel that long. And also, I'm going to reiterate the fact that we're here for unity, not division. So if you come in here and you want to bring division, we'll just block you up out of here. Now, if you want to come and unite and build with us, let's get it. But if you want that other bullshit, you can miss us with that. But anyway, go ahead, bro.
Now, man, look, when Ryan gets here, see, I don't like talking about the stuff I can't prove. I can talk about a couple things. This is a good book. I don't do too much arguing. This is an amazing book for people that's really serious about it. I'll give them a little second to catch it. The Return of the Serpent's Wisdom. And it speaks on the Kukulkans and the Quetzalcoatlus. People take these names and they don't understand their titles. They're sets. We could call it organization, whatever we want to call it. But this was a group of people that was sent out. But all of them are saying the same thing. They were mapping the stars. All of them said the exact same thing. And when you start talking to Ryan, when we had a conversation with Ryan, he'll break down how whatever you want to call these entities. I don't always like saying Anunnaki and everything else because people will use these titles to say certain things because you can't prove it one way or the other, so they can get away with saying anything.
Yeah.
But when I talk about the stonework, when I talk about things that we can put physically in the hand, you can't deny the work. You can't deny the scripture. You can't deny what's already written in stone 1,500 years ago, and that's telling people, oh, like they built their Jesus off of these characters. They built all these things off of black gods, going back to the American gods. Quetzalcoatl, Marcus Codal, black god. Coco Pele, black god. Best, black god. El Negro, black god. El Rey, black god. That's just to name a few. And of course, Papa Leg, but today is Monday, I'll say. But Papa Leg, everybody's like, oh, the Orishas and African guys, but don't we always see, like, I met Papa Leg in New Orleans. I met Papa Leg in Mississippi.
Let's not forget the IJ either. Today is the day where we venerate IJ and Eshu on Mondays.
So when and the funny thing about it is, even in Latin Americas, even in the I don't like saying Latin America, but even in Mexico, they have an Exu. So when we're listening to a white person give us a description or telling us what they can't tell you what they say. You got to look at it, and your soul is going to tell you. It unlocks DNA. That's what the hieroglyphics are. Just like Indinkras, just like in if you're with Indinkras, right?
Yeah, the symbols. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the symbols. What are the symbols there for? They're there for healing. They're there for messing. They're there for power. You see what I'm saying?
Listen, I love it, and listen, and I wanna shout out to Lauren Fowler. Appreciate you. That's exactly what we're here for. But to go back to, and that's dope. That like Heru.
Yeah. Well,
To go back. Okay, I thought so. To go back to like real quick about the last little rant I had to go on. Shout out to Chris, because this really equates to exactly what we're talking about. Like, people, we not healed. We're not healed. Like, we need healing. You know what I'm saying? I know that. I know we need healing. And I know the people who know me, especially the people who work with me, you know what I'm saying, directly, like, I know they know how I move. So I don't have nothing to prove to nobody. I don't give a damn what you think about me. I don't give a damn what you think. None of that. I really don't. I promise you I don't. But to get to that point and to drive it further home in regards to this thing that we need in regards to healing, like, we really need that, man, because I see so many different groups of people or sects, or, you know what I'm saying, like, just different segments of people that I have a phenomenal relationship with a lot of different people in different groups and different, you know what I'm saying, spaces, right? But one thing I will not do is pick up somebody else's beef and make it my own. You ain't never gonna see me do that, because I don't even want to deal with the beefs that I personally have to deal with. But I promise you, on God, I'm gonna deal with them beefs. But I don't want no beefs with nobody, because that's not even who I am or what I'm about. But what I will not do is allow anybody to pull me into their beefs and try to get me to take a side, because I don't move like that. And I don't have to, because I don't answer to nobody but the universal prime creator. I don't care if it's blood family. I'm not getting pulled into nobody's beef. If this person don't talk to this person, that's your problem. Because if they ain't did nothing to me, I'm chopping it up with them. And I'm chopping it up with whoever else I want to, because I don't take on other people's problems or beefs, and I sure as hell ain't taking on your trauma. So if you dealing with pain, trauma, suffering, whatever, you got to heal that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how we continuously grow. And with the way the universe is moving and the planet is moving right now, with the ascension and it moving as fast as it's moving, we might want to get that healing done, because a lot of us ain't gonna make it to the next dimension. Let's just keep it a buck. It doesn't hurt me, because I feel like I know what my heart and my spirit, and I know what my work has done. So if and when I take that last breath, I'm at peace wherever. You know what I'm saying? Because I know I came here to do something, and I'm doing it. So if you want to do the division, like I said, you keep it pushing. But we healing, we building, and we making it happen here. Okay, I'm done, bro.
No, bro. Listen, everything you're saying connects. I know I'm probably going a long way with it, but when we're talking about basalt, black basalt, and black granite, and these stones, right? They're not doing this bronze and everything else. We talked briefly about a lot of stuff last time. This is actually the Christ stone, right? This is what they call in the tribe. They call it the Christ stone, right?
That's dope, bro. I like that.
What you do is ancient. You see what I'm saying? I got a couple of them. I got a volcano monkey too. You see what I'm saying? So
I like that.
The thing about this is, you were talking about healing. This ain't no war. This ain't no bullshit ass civilization. You hold this stone and you talk to the stone and you cry. You cry. Whatever you got going on, like, you ain't going through shit that the next motherfucker ain't go through. We all been through shit. So when the warriors come back, they would sit with shaman. Mind you, this is an ancient civilization of shamans. They're on Multiverse and DMC. They can see the serpent. This is a serpent civilization. So they're showing you the blueprint of what the serpent said, what we should have been doing, that they tried to hide, that they tried to destroy, that they tried to glitter you out, that they tried to damn manipulate you out your spot. They tricked you out your spot. But if you're talking about healing, you would sit with this. You might take some medicine, you might not, but you would sit with it. You would let all your traumas go.
Right.
And you do those at drum circles, safe spaces, shit like that. You know what I'm saying? You feeling the vibration, let it go. You ain't got to talk to nobody but the stone. Don't nobody shit. The stone ain't gonna tell nobody. But they're ancient as shit. But they got these all up and down. I'm trying to tell you, they got these all up and down the Mississippi River, G. And this is OLMEC. They got these all up and down the Mississippi River. Do you know how this is? They ain't something I carved. This is ancient. Like, can't nobody tell you how old this is.
Yeah, it's dope. I really like that piece for real. Like it's speaking to me, so I rock with it heavy, like real
My
heavy.
goal, I think I told you last time, is to start Soul Asylum. I'm gonna give me a little art gallery slash museum, and I put artifacts in there, indigenous all around the globe, Sambo, ancient Asia, ancient Australia, because the ancient Australians, their prime deity is the rainbow serpent, black god. Deity in Africa it's the Bala, the serpent. All these different I can't pronounce the name, so I don't want to mispronounce the name, but Diadoedo, I believe. That's a certain deity. You see what I'm saying? Then when you go to, I mean, of course, Dambala. Then when you come to America, it's Quetzalcoatl, and then they just switch the name up over and over again. You know what I'm saying? But when we talking about healing, what did they do to heal? They use obsidian for spiritual magic and shadow magic, and shadow magic, shadow work. Shadow work is healing you. You'll sit with some obsidian, and you got to look at all those different things inside of you. And sometimes those things don't always be pretty. Sometimes, like you do, and like I told you before, when you on shrooms or DMT, it's like a time machine. It's weird, right? Because all you're doing is talking to your old self. You're talking to your past, present, and future. But your old self is really your new self, and your young self is really your old self. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And you gotta like balance that out. Some people can't balance it out, they go crazy, whatever. But if you can balance that out and understanding how to, especially some kids, the little child in you might need to be healed.
Yeah. But you know what? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but this just like hit my spirit real heavy, man, because who was it? Somebody just put a okay, here we go. It was Lauren Fowler. We're not a label, we're or a word. Like I love that. And let me and to really like just to drive home how I like how unapologetically I'm not going to entertain anybody's bullshit. Like I speak, you know this. I work with the youth, like you know what I'm saying, in the community, right? So today I'm chopping it up with him, and bro, I promise you, bro, this dude was like 16, bro. I'm talking about, like, when I tell you, I was asking him why, like, what caused him to be in the position that he's in for, you know, to be in the situation or the environment where I work with him at, right? And he was like, you know, I just made some dumb decisions. You know, like he just went in, bro, when I tell you he went in on like about a 5-6 minute explanation as to why he was in the situation he's in, but it was all retrospective, every last word. And that's what made me ask him how old he was. Because when I tell you he was standing on business accountability, with, you know what I'm saying, reflection, retrospection, like all that. I'm sitting there, I'm impressed, bro. Like that's one thing about me. I'm gonna give credit where credit is due because I take pride in that because I respect greatness. You know what I'm saying? Or I respect anything that, you know what I'm saying, where I could tell somebody they got that it, like whatever that is. Like I respect your jewelry game. You know what I'm saying? I respect your mind. Like it's a lot of things that I respect. So I'm gonna say that because I don't have nothing, like it's not gonna hurt me to give you your props. But bro, when I tell you this dude was so far advanced at 16 years old and how he looked at life, I wish to God I can get him to come on the podcast because I feel like he would make a better damn, like he would definitely be able to clarify some of the foolishness that I see in the comments. And he's 16 because he gets it. You know what I'm saying? He gets it. And I'm just like, yo, like, bro, you dope, man.
People don't realize if we're gonna be serious about this tribal shit, right? If we're gonna serious about the culture shit, right? Culture shit means we understand classism and everybody play their position. In this position of life, the young man is the warrior. Hannibal was like in his early years when he was doing his banging. When you get to a certain age, you become an elder. The elder gives wise counsel. The same way with the women. With the women, it's like the matriarch is like the grandma, the mothers, no, the grandma, the grandmothers, and the wives. And they hold up the oldest woman in the family, they hold the oldest woman in the family, all of them up while they all on the drummers' backs while we all hold them up. You see what I'm saying? That's like a matriarch symbol for us. Same thing, like same thing. So I don't know where I was just going with that. My bad. I kind of what were we
That's
talking
all
about?
good. We were talking about. I was talking about the because it started with because I had kind of jumped in because somebody else had mentioned a comment about like healing and like shadow work and things of that nature, and it reminded me of the young brother I was talking to today, and what's so dope about that, bro? I promise you, I asked him after I asked him how old he was like 16. I'm like, man, what are you trying to do? You know what I'm saying? Like when you get out of school and you go ahead into your career, your whatever it is, like what do you man, my man was like, I'm trying to be a Marine, like, I'm trying to be infantry. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to go and go for
You know
it
what I'm
all.
saying?
And I'm just like, the fact that you said that, when I'm like, that's dope. And this ain't something we pre-rehearsed, you know what I'm saying? Like pre-scripted, but that's just how spirit works though, man. And that's why I really wanted to, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I really wanted to share that story because I was blown away. I was amazed by how advanced this brother's mind was, man. I'm like, yo, this is dope. Like, I'm like, bro, you got something, man. I said, man, I could bring 10 people in here my age or older. I'm 45, and I could bring 10 people in here my age or older, and probably maybe 3 or 4 might could answer it anywhere in the same, you know what I'm saying, vicinity of what you did. And he's 16. You know what I mean? So it's like that right there shows me.
On these kids, like we having lack of no, these kids are doing what kids supposed to do. We ain't like a lot of young men were never scared. That's why, like at one point in time, if we were scared, we wouldn't have did the rebellious things that we did when we were young to get us locked up or do we were rebelling. So the nature of the cult that what we are now, what they did was manipulate the culture. We going back to the frequencies we were talking about last time. Like I said, we got to keep this. It's going to be forever conversation. But the frequency is the energy, their energy. That they know they've been studying us for years. They study everything about you to insert themselves, act like you. They want to be Black Panther. They want to be everything. You see what I'm saying? But once you understand that, it's like, when do we stop entertaining them? Or when do we stop entertaining those that entertain those? Because we talking about who's the dirty Moors? The nigga that want to be their friend. Mr. I want to invite everybody to the picnic. Mr. You see what I'm saying? Look, she look good. Fast Negroes. You see what I'm saying? So at some point in time, we have a class. We need to start our going back to what they got going on. Meditation, healing, stones. They were really big into jade. Let me see, I wrote it down. They were big into jade, obsidian, serpentine. It's funny. Serpentine, right? Let me find my note on it real quick. So all these stones that we're talking about are healing stones. Warriors too, by the way. When you read the glyphs, once you realize what the glyphs is, they're saying like, on this day, 8 river, jaguar wing conquered the land. He conquered his enemies and flipped them. Like they're showing this, and this is also kind of an ancient West African tradition too, right? When you your enemy, you turn him upside down, his face upside down, right? Like he was in the wrong direction, so he flipped him around. That's what the OLMEC, they had the statues when it was like, this is what he's saying he did, but they translated it. So they conquered him down there. So clearly they're not exactly from this area, but they land in this area. They conquer the area. They adapt to the area on some predator shit. They play into your face when they tell you about predator. They play into your face when they talk about a lot of these different things, right? But these people master the jungle because they had already been. The thing is, they didn't create anything. They had already had this established. They didn't take time to think about building a pyramid. That shit got done. Let's get it. Think about the obsidian, what these stones did. They already knew. It's weird because the other people that are from these areas are saying these people knew more about the lands than them, but these people are different. This is what these other groups of people are saying. And when the other groups, like this is why we're saying the OLMECs were doing trading with other people. But even those other groups, you have to realize if we're talking about 1500 BC, we gotta, nobody wants to say it because nobody wants to say, hurt nobody's feelings. White people ain't that old. Like we gotta be like, how old are white people?
What? Is it 1,000? Is it even 1,000 years? How many years is it?
I would get them a good like 4,000 years, 5,000 years old. So like a lot of stuff don't make sense because these people in this time frame that you're saying that these people are building pyramids, these motherfuckers in caves. They're still trying to figure shit out. You see what I'm saying? They're from Europe. They're from Europe. And then if you want to go really deep into that, their whole Europe situation is really weird. So nobody really knows exactly where they came from, except from they're the Borg. We're talking about Star Trek, right? They're telling you that the multiverse is the Borg. We don't want you to have no flavor. Are gonna be the same type. The Borg niggas. And look, the Borg, pale, all white type shit.
Yeah.
They came Aryans. That's what Hitler was saying he was in communication with. Everybody's been incubated to the higher thing. You see what I'm saying? This is a real thing they put in your face about. So going back to the American guys, like just the Jade, Healing Stone, Obsidian, Shadow Work Stone, but that can go a lot of different ways. Obsidian's a power tool too, but you gotta know what you're doing with it. Quartz. When we hear the crystal, the Indiana Jones and the crystal skull, where do you think the crystal skull idea came from?
Probably them crystal skulls that they found. What was it, like 13 of them that was like located or placed in a different part of the world, in a different part of the globe?
Man, they made that shit up. You got to make the shit up and just sell the candy. You got to come up with a commercial. Back then, the story was the commercial. Found a crystal skull in Mexico, a real crystal skull in Mexico. Then everybody started making their own, and they got the idea they can't create anything until they see it. You see what I'm saying? And they made the whole Indiana Jones and the crystal skull, like in India.
Right.
But they're telling you the same thing because they were borderline telling you the same thing because it was still the Naga. They were still the Naga people. Even when you're looking at the Yucatan, if you look at the Yucatan people, people are like the argument of racing is stupid because the Yucatan people are just as black as us. The indigenous people, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, turquoise, healing stone. This is one of the biggest stones that when you're seeing the ancient so-called Mayans, Aztecs, Zapotecs, OLMEC, you're seeing them turquoise out, jade out. They have a higher reference for turquoise than gold. To them, turquoise is better than gold. And going back to that gold thing, what's the last time we talked? Gold was what at 33? What's gold at now?
Wasn't you saying like 36 or something earlier, or something like that?
About 36 now. And just let everybody know, they discontinued. They discontinued the first original gold backs, right? So you might want to get on. And the best ones is the Florida ones, the indigenous woman one. All the indigenous Florida back women are black women. So everybody knows that peep game. The reason I like these, they're real good. But mind you,
can you put that one back up? I'm gonna bring it to the front so the tribe can see it.
On the new money, if you pay attention, all the old money that's dying has a man on it, white man on it, slave master on it, right? So all that money is being pushed out. They don't have to tell you why they're doing it. They're doing it because they've been told for how order to do it. The new money is gold, silver, not new money, old money, right? Don't take my word for it. Look up what the Florida just passed a law just last week about gold backs and stuff, right? As soon as they did it, they discontinued these. But on all the gold backs, it's all women. It's all indigenous women. The highest one is the Florida gold back, and I think it's Tampa. I think it's Tampa.
Bruh.
So now, if you got
you drop that's a jewel right there. I ain't trying to interrupt, but I had this like that's a jewel, and I'm talking about all of it. But I'm gonna throw it in reverse real quick because listen,
everybody want to be OLMEC shit. We need gold. We need minerals.
No. Listen, hear me out. Anytime somebody drop a mic drop or drop a gem or a jewel, I gotta get my little sound drops like set up because I got some. But I need to really if you don't mind running that back for the people in the back, or it might have been some people that just jumped on. You said that they are phasing out all of the money with the old white men on it. They're going bye-bye. They're phasing them out. And then you said they're can you please run that back for the people in the back? I'm gonna get off the screen while you do.
So I know it's gonna sound crazy, right? This whole Donald Trump shit, and you see, but what you're seeing is white on white war, but they had to put a white person up there, like Rod says all the time. The Moors have always done it. They hide behind a white face. So right now, a lot of stuff we're seeing is things being pushed out and has to be pushed out through this white face, Trump's face. They're pushing out the old money. They just put in the old money all has a man's face on it. Whereas all the gold backs, woman. All of them are women. And they're coming out with new ones, but you don't see no man on. All the new money going into the gold standard is matriarch. It's all about the matriarch. Going back into the gold standard is going back into the matriarch. They know this. This is a whole black woman on this gold back. They discontinued all of these, so now these are collectors. You know what I'm saying? So if you get your eyes on them, Gold is good, very, very good investment. Silver is a very good investment. So, you still there, guy?
I'm here. I'm just listening. Like I said, that was a jewel right there, man. I had to
Precious
run that
metals.
back.
Precious metals. Like we just my Papa leg, but let's talk about Ogun. Let's talk about healing. Let's talk about healing. Sometimes we don't understand what gold is and why we wear it, or why we wear silver, or why we wear copper.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But if we're going to be like the OLMECs, they had it on because they already had a master understanding what this is. They're master builders, right? They're master mineralogists. They're healers. They're healing with vibration. They're healing with stones. Why do you think they call it the Golden Gulf Coast? Remember? So I ain't telling you no, never saying nothing we don't already know. I'm just reminding us because we've always been into gold. Back in the 80s, they made us stop. They made us think we were silly. They made us think, oh man, you better stop eating that watermelon. You better stop getting that gold chains. You stupid. You better stop gold and teeth and gold this and so we stopped doing it. Stop eating that watermelon. Stop. You know what I'm saying? But in all actuality, everything's coming back full force. So now it's like, damn, did we get tricked out of our spot? Okay, everything happens in due time. But right now, we're going back into that gold standard. Right now, you need tangibles. Right now, you need money that represents you. Like, I don't want them the money that they look like them. I want money to look like us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I'm about to get the Queen Khalifa bar soon. You know what I'm saying? I got with Jade on the coin. My daughter loves that because it looks just like my daughter. You know what I'm saying? So no, right now, investing gold, that's a major investment. Labels are just okay. You still there, guy?
Yeah, I went, but because you said something that sparked something in me too. Because this is something that for me, I ain't even gonna lie, bro. I can't even front. When I was in the atmosphere and the environment, like, and for those who have not made it yet, have not had their Hajj to the motherland, when I got there, man, one of the most proudest things I could ever, like do, see, or hold was to have, you know what I'm saying, like money with us on it. You know what I'm saying? So this is $1,000, you know what I'm saying, in Nigeria. This is 1,000 naira, right? So just to see that within itself holds a whole nother level of pride to me because, you know, being a person of melanated descent who was born and raised in this particular part of the globe, I never saw that. So the first time I saw it and I'm holding, I'm like, yeah, this is it right here. I could get used to this. You know what I'm saying? So that was Naira, right? So then Ghana, same thing. You go to Ghana. You know what I'm saying? You're looking at they call it the CCs is what they call the Ghana, the Ghanaian currency. Like these are all things like, bro, like it's the realest thing ever for me because to be able to look at currency and to be able to see a reflection of me, like that's the equivalent of me having this podcast and seeing another reflection of me, a different experience, you know what I'm saying, of me. But that's dope because like it just resonates, it hit different, bro. Yes, sir. It hit
That's
different.
what you.
Man, listen. So then when I'm doing when I'm doing my rituals and my offerings and all that, like I'm giving the gods, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm honoring them with something that, you know what I mean? I feel like it just resonates on a whole nother frequency because I want to honor you with you know what I'm saying, in the form of real currency, right? So it's like when you said that with the gold backs, like and them gold dollars, like I'm like, yeah, that's dope, bro. Like for real.
Man,
I never seen that.
if we get back into realism and like real life type shit, like if we think about it, everything that we running away from is with everything that they took from us. Think about it. We don't want to deal with the mineral world, but ain't that the first thing these crackers came for? When they came to Benin, the first thing they stole was y'all minerals, y'all Benin bronzes, y'all stones, y'all ivory. When they came to ancient Mexico, they stole y'all turquoise, they stole your jade. We worry about it. I don't understand how people are not thinking like, damn, maybe, you know what I'm saying, I need to get my shit back, or maybe I need to figure out why they felt like it was so important to come kill and rape and murder all these different people for some jade. Think about that as long as you need, you know what I'm saying? For some gold, our niggas didn't give a fuck about gold like that. Gold was a ritual thing. It's a ritual. Like you have to shine. We shining like shine for God. We Sunday morning we out there. They got gold teeth and stuff. This is ancient shit. Where we out here talking about we stupid, but the whole time this is ancient DNA being turned on type shit. You know what I'm saying? So
well, Well, why is the like and correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm sure somebody might have something to say to rebuttal it or concur or not. But if I'm not mistaken, I would dare to say that the bust of King Tut is, I would say, by far probably the most recognized symbol or face in the world. I don't give a damn what you say about the Bible or the Christian, the white Jesus, and none of that. I would dare to say, and I'm betting this, that the gold bust of King Tut is the most recognizable bust or face or artifact in the world. I don't know of one that surpasses that. I would dare to see, you know what I'm saying? If anybody can find or do the math real quick or the research on it, I'm not sure. But I say all that to say that gold was all throughout that sarcophagus. It was all throughout, you know what I'm saying? Everything that was around him in any capacity, you know what I'm saying? Like, so therefore, that within itself holds a lot of weight because I don't think anybody can show a more monumental or more older, superior structure than the Great Pyramid at Kemet, right? And then if Tut, if I'm not mistaken, is the most recognized one that I personally know of. I don't know if it's more, but if it is, please let me know and enlighten me. But I'm just saying,
fact is the pyramid in Mexico is way bigger than the pyramid in Egypt.
yeah,
One.
it is. Yeah,
Now King Tut's thing is actually it is impressive because there's a meteorite on it on the chest of Libyan desert glass.
but
So
there's
that
another, but and
he got
arguably his tomb was found in America, if I'm not mistaken, in the Grand
um,
Canyon.
I mean they got so much going on because you also have to
Arguably,
realize,
arguably.
huh? No,
No, I'm
no, no.
saying arguably though, because
There,
they have found comedic, like you know what I'm saying, artifacts in the Grand Canyon for sure.
bro. One thing about it, when you have a real civilization, just like now, if we in 1,000 years from now, mother gonna be like, what was Florida? Was it just black people? Was it just white people? Like people are stupid, right? We don't realize that everybody was traveling and trying to figure some shit out. At this now, also we have to realize that a lot of these races didn't exist at a certain time either. So understand that. So at this point in time, you're only talking about two races: 9 ethers and 6 ethers. They were all like Rob would tell you, something came down and gave them orders. They didn't come down trying to figure some shit out. Everybody did something around the same time, built the same pyramid, aligned to the same moon that we might say is artificial or whatever, but they built a pyramid of the moon as well, a pyramid of the serpent, and a pyramid of the sun. It's older than the pyramids of Egypt, and it's bigger than the pyramids of Egypt. They stole a lot of stuff from down there. The only reason I gotta say this because this is our shit. Like it's undeniable. They're trying to still argue about who built the Egyptian pyramids. You can't deny who built these pyramids because it's the OLMEC. Those same pyramids, when we're talking about now, we can start talking about Atlantis if we wanted to. But like I said, that also goes into the Anunnaki thing because the people go into that realm where you can say anything, right? Except for the fact that they have several of those pyramids up on the water, right there outside of Florida, or right outside of Florida, there's the pyramid, right in Louisiana, New Orleans, St.
By
Paris.
what they
There's
would
a
call the
pyramid.
Bermuda Triangle, there's pyramids.
Pyramids right there off of Cuba. There's a pyramid structure, and on the side of the structure is a snake. Remember, we said Serpent Society. So they told you who you were. They tell you now. Going back to that whole Grand Canyon thing, when you were talking about stones and stone technology and quartz technology, I'm on some shit like and granite. I'm on some shit like they were making stargates. You see what I'm saying? Egypt is the old Hollywood. Egypt is the old version of Hollywood when they were trying to reenact a lot. Like Egypt was the old Hollywood, just like let's say Egypt's probably like the old days version of Atlanta type shit. That's why I was always conquered so many times. Think about it. Think Egypt was like this. Egypt ain't Kush. And Egypt
That's a
ain't
funny
Timbuktu.
analogy, but I like it because I get where you're going with it. I do.
Egypt, Egypt is where, yeah, that's why they get
What's
conquered
the
all the
white
time.
lady? What's the white lady name that played Cleopatra? What was her name?
Man, I can't. You know, they all look like to me.
Well, but it's just funny to me because that's what it brought me back to. It brought me back to when you said that. I'm like, you know what? You make a funny ass point. Like that's a real point, but it's funny to me because I get what you're saying. Like that's deep. Some people it might have went over their heads. I don't know, but I get it. That's a double entendre which just dropped for me. You know what I'm saying? Like for real. I get where
So
you went with it. For real.
the thing is acknowledging dragon gods, and I'm still trying to understand that jaguar, because the jaguar, I believe, is saying that he's one with the land, like he overstands. And going back to West African culture in Nigeria, ancient Nigeria, like I say, they probably don't even know this shit no more, right? But in ancient Nigeria, the king, the Oba, became the king when he had to go out there and hunt leopards. One of them, I had to guess, he caught 2 leopards and held them up by their tails. You see what I'm saying? So they had this kid. Remember, we used to go to Bronze Kingdom and see those Benin bronzes?
Yeah, they had some real nice stuff there for sure.
It's the same art that you're seeing in these OLMEC artifacts, the holes, the scarification on their faces. And like I said, they're also talking about healing, meditation, yoga. This isn't a war. This isn't just a sacrifice situation. That first off, the deity that they're seeing that they've always worshipped, Talak and Quetzalcoatl, don't believe in sacrifice. So they've been lying to us a lot of this shit. Quetzalcoatl don't believe in it's so easy when you talk about some sacrifice. That's some Cain and Abel type shit. You're trying to give a Cain sacrifice. You're trying to give what you want to give. You ain't giving your best, because why would you kill this sheep when you can cut yourself? You want to give blood? Give me your blood. So in actuality, in OLMEC civilization or in our shit, we're not supposed to go kill this chicken. Cut yourself. It's easy for you to cut yourself. It's easy to cut the chicken head off, right? But can you cut yourself or cut yourself and give your blood to the land?
Man, listen, I had a long ago like that. I was just talking about that earlier today with the brothers in regards to that, about how, getting cut and dealing with the deities and all that. I got a couple of quick questions, man, before we get out, because I got no, I'm gonna keep going though, because we got a good crowd in here, man. So I don't want to, even though I know I gotta go, like I still want to keep it going.
We're gonna keep building, guys. We're gonna keep building, because like I said, Rod tagging next time.
Nah. Well, no, what I want to do, if you could bring a couple, if you could chill for a few, I want to drop a couple of questions, because I see some good ones that I would love to see what your perspective is. So shout out to, I hope I'm saying it right, Sobek Raheru said, do you see the connection between the Dogon and the OLMECs?
Yes.
Talk to me.
So listen, bro. We talk about this all the time. The Dogon is the Hopi of in Africa. You know who the Hopi is, right?
Well, yeah, well, they say Indians, but yeah, I know. The indigenous people of the land here, the Hopi, yes.
The same dog star. They're still saying they came from the same place.
Yes.
All these stories are ancient stories. The OLMEC saying the same exact thing. They're not paying attention. Like, they know they got ops. They go ahead and annihilate the ops, get them out the way. That's what they're saying in stone. Like, Yellow Thunder 7 came on this day, rain, and eliminated all threats. Land is secure. That's how they talking to each other, bro. These dudes, they came down like gods. Like God sent them down to clear the land. And the name of these dudes is order. Yes, they are connected. The reason we're talking about the language, Yope, Po 2, Pure 1, Tata 2, 2 Jaguar Paw, Po B, 1 Pure, Po Befe, 2 Jaguar Paw, Tata 1 Jaguar Paw. If you look at some of those languages, they're West African languages. Mind you, in the Dogon, it's still serpent energy. They're just saying it's an amphibious energy. When you're talking about the Dogon, we're talking about the Dogon energy. You're still talking about a divine serpent, a great mother energy from Sirius. If we're gonna go that far with it, but if you're talking about going to Sirius, it came to the waters. That's Olakupa, right? You heard me, God?
Yes, sir. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's all connected, man.
Oshun or Mama Wata.
It's all connected, bro. It's just different names, different, you know what I'm saying, like variations, based upon the progenitors, of that particular landmass. Like, you know what I mean? And
that was a good one. Sobek, and his name Sobek. He's a priest already. He's a priest of the serpent. That's the brotherhood of the serpent. His name represented the brother. So when you're seeing, like, I'm from a serpent tribe. Of course, I'm Temuco, I'm Washington, but I'm from a serpent tribe, a river tribe, right? There's different tribes when it comes to the clans and everything else. The whole tribal thing isn't for us to be on the three-dimensional shit, hating on each other. It's to understand, like, what we had to be like that, because if you're talking about Mississippi, right? Don't everybody just get to come to the river? we got people on each side to protect the river. One, because like Oshun, we protect Oshun. We protect it. That's the story of it, right? We protect the river. Don't need nobody coming over to dam, put a dam up and stop, block our water. So the only people come down would have to be different tribes, and they would have to tell you what do they have to barter or trade. What goods do you have? It was all about currency on the river. You see what I'm saying? That was a beautiful connection with the Dogon, because if you study the Dogon, understand the Dogon, even the bullshit that they told that white man was still bullshit. It's still like, if you really think they told him anything that was worth anything, there's a brother, I can't remember his name right now, but he talks about that serpent energy where we always, oh, the reptilians, the this, the that. We don't know shit about shit, because whatever a cracker's scared of, you might want to make your friend. Whatever
Voodoo,
a cracker's scared of, anytime a very, very
Voodoo,
wise
voodoo,
say if everything vice versa.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? So no, right now, like, yeah, nah.
Yeah. But that's what it is though. Like, pretty much anything that they are extremely adamant about, prohibiting from us, yes, you might want to go towards it. Anything that they're force feeding, you know what I'm saying? Like, you see every 5 minutes, like the commercials on TV, where it's a whole bunch of propaganda being force fed down people's throats. You might want to run from that. You know what I mean? Because it's the total opposite, total and polar opposite.
Man, think about this. You said about the young man. I keep on thinking about the young man you were talking about, right? When you're young, most young men I've dealt with a lot of young people that want to gravitate to something higher than themselves. That's why the young man said, I want to go to the Marines.
Yes.
At one point in time, I was going to go to the Navy. We want to be, that's why niggas join gangs, because that's your rights of passage. You want to do something and say, yeah, I'm a man, I could do this. Now the police is, they put bullshit ass leaders there, coons, CIA agents, bitch ass niggas, homo thugs, all the above.
Collaborators.
You get people like the West Coast people that want to do crimes and talk about it all on camera because they're not mentally right there. And they're teaching the youth that shit. Like I said, they're trying to trick niggas out the street. Yeah, this is all right. No, you on some goofy shit. You niggas are some goofies.
Yeah.
If you listen to any of these motherfuckers, they talking about the white boy and from Tampa and up. If you a nigga, you listen to any of this dumb shit, you got to question your priorities anyway. You see what I'm saying? It's only 24 hours in a day. I can't listen to dumb shit. It's too much to learn and tap into. They tell you, the brother just said the serious connection. That's exactly what it is. Yeah. They're telling you to pay attention to the stars. I just told you that they created a calendar, and we can't even tap into that. We can't paraphrase that. I just said that they gave us the calendar. We gave us the calendar. We gave them the calendar. And in the center of the calendar is Bess, another black god. Bess.
Yeah.
Bess.
Man, listen.
Bess. So, and then of course, High John the Conqueror. Just I'll throw that out there. I always got to say something about High John the Conqueror. He don't get enough love or credit, but High John the Conqueror is just another version of a Legua in my personality, in my personal point of view. When the slaves were being beaten, like it's funny because when you put yourself through pain, we talking about healing, right? Scarification, tattoos, whatever we want to call it. When you talking about a lot of the tribes, they do scarification, Killmonger, right? They do scarification each kill. He's changing blood. That was the ritual, right? So scarification, you're scarring yourself. It brings you, like when you're going through enough pain, like people do it weird now. They got this little white thing that you can wipe on you to stop the pain. But when you're going through pain, you kind of send yourself to a trance where you can kind of talk and communicate with the ancestors if you really tap into it like that. At one point in time, I was probably 19 or whatever, and I'm rebellious, don't know nothing, but I'm thinking I know something. So I'm getting this tattoo on my back, and I'm saying I gotta take the pain. I gotta take the pain, because if my ancestors took being whooped, I gotta take this pain. So I put myself through this to feel, and I tapped in through this, you know what I'm saying, thinking that maybe one of my ancestors may or might not went through this shit. But in going through the pain, you kind of tap out, and in this realm that you tap out into, kind of like where you're there, but the pain don't hurt no more. That's John the Conqueror realm. To a realm where you didn't feel that pain no more. You punch into where your mind can go into the universe and go into all these different windows and rooms and different things. You know what I'm saying? Highly powerful. This he's in Dinkras, and people think these are just signs. And no, when you see Haru, he's telling you a story. When you see the eye with Jet, it's telling you that's the healing. When you see the Indinkras, we're talking about healing, go meditate and look at an Indinkra. Go meditate and look at some of these symbols these glyphs that they gave us, because that's the medicine. It really is. It wakes up the DNA. The Serpent down here, Mississippi. Yeah. I forgot for it. He's up in Natchez. Yeah, we got them off, man. We got them all throughout Florida, bro. We like come to tell you, like, go to your mounds, go have a band-aid on those mounds. Go to those mounds and do your singing bowl. Go up to those mounds and do some drums. Go up on those mounds and make love. Go on those mounds and go gaze at the stars. Or you might not want to be there at nighttime, but if you built like that, go out there and really connect, because now you're gonna reactivate them. Damn, the ancient ones are returning. The ancient ones are returning. They said, when you remember, who gonna remember? Wait a minute, Sambo. If you look at the stones on Sambo, Sambo said you'll know him because these are gonna be men going against what's going on. They will be in a strange situation, have to go against the system. They will change the environment for the youth, and they're gonna look like us. That's what Sambo calls, bro. Do the research on ancient black gods of Asia.
Yeah.
He said the ones with locks, they talking about niggas in Florida the whole time. They breaking this shit down. They're telling you, bro, they broke this shit all the way down. They talking about niggas in Florida.
Man, listen, we got listen, and I'm gonna say this humbly, but I'm gonna say it proudly and confidently. We have a whole goddamn historical library on this channel. Go back and check out the previous interviews with Professor James Smalls, and he broke down the whole entire thing of what you're talking about, but he went in depth with it. So I don't even want, like, you know what I'm saying, because we limited on time for tonight, but I'm gonna reshare that pod, because Professor Smalls broke down that whole seminal, you know what I'm saying, all that. That's all us. All that is us. And so did Brother Rod. He mentions it a lot too. But I got a couple of other questions real quick that I want to bring in before we sign off, because I got to get back at it, because I'm, like I said, I'm gonna be here all week with y'all this week, family. So I'm gonna get ready to close this one out. But bro, can you share, because I got shout out to Brother Chris. He want to know what your name is. What's your can you share your Instagram handle so I can put it in the chat for Brother Chris and everybody else who might not be familiar with you, bro?
Orisha Stone. You like type in the chat.
Orisha and Stone, Stone. Okay.
Yeah.
I want to make sure, because I know remember we had a little issue last time where they was trying to hold us back.
That was weird. But like I say,
no idea how much I've dealt with.
Cosmic order, you can't block anything. You know what I'm saying? Like you're doing everything that you're doing. That's why I love your page. You're putting out there, and we're recording it. This is ain't no takes and backsies. It's put into the universe. So we're combating the ignorance. When they say, oh, all black men are stupid or all black men are degenerates, no, this is a message back into the universe saying, no, we really on some other shit. And if motherfucker really gave us the opportunity, we probably rebuild Tamaray. I mean, my bad. Malachi's your tried that already, didn't it?
We already done rebuilt it. It's just they ain't seen it yet. It's coming from the spiritual dimensions. Like, trust me, there's a lot going on, bro.
It's most definitely popping, because the creation. The thing is, we've been moving stones from time. When built, like literally the whole aspect. The reason people are so amazed with the OLMECs. Another thing is Basalt. Going back to the stones, right? How do they move the stones? That's why I say we have to study the Basalt and understand the properties of Basalt too, because it's way deeper than this. Is something that all of us can get into, because you might be somebody that understands magnetism. They understood magnetism also, that these stones melt. These are volcanic stones. So at one point in time, these stones were melted. So and honestly, these stones might not have been carved. The OLMEC heads might not have been carved. They might have been molded. But I can't, like, you know what I'm saying? It's so much to that where you don't want to go into, you know what I'm saying? But when I say molded, I'm talking about in the Bible, they're telling you stories about Nephilim. Nephilim are giants. It's already proven that giants are all throughout here. One of the OLMEC heads that they don't show you has a handprint in it. The handprint is just as big as this, like he picked it up. But it also looks like he was molding it. Like this, if everybody else is being artists, they're copying the big artist, they're copying the big person that they're seeing. Maybe he was the artist or she was the artist, molding and crafting and showing people how to do stuff. And they were looking at him like, damn, this nigga could crush us, but he's doing arts and crafts around his hole. That's what Quetzalcoatl is. Quetzalcoatl came down teaching arts and crafts. He taught you, look, if you're going to escape the matrix, you're not going to escape it with guns. We're going to escape it under the title of the artist. You see what I'm saying?
I'm gonna jump off. Keep going. I'm gonna jump off camera and I'm gonna come right back because I want to grab something real quick. But keep going. I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab something that goes right into what you're talking about.
Yeah, man. Also, look up the Zopatech. Like, we know a lot about the OLMEC, but look up the Zopatech. Oh, we also forgot. Like, everything we're saying can be look into the news right now. The first thing Trump did when he got into office was to attack the Smithsonian. The Smithsonian has all these artifacts. That's why I say everything's going in our favor, because he's attacking the Smithsonian. The Smithsonian is most definitely the enemy. Yeah, we're in Saturn and Aries. So pay attention to that. Saturn is order. OLMEC is order.
Okay, I'm good now.
I just said, you just reminded me about Donald Trump attacking the Smithsonian.
Yeah, because that was something we did speak about that earlier. Real quick, bro. Shout out to Sobek Raheru again with that comment with the Dogon still practicing Kemetic culture in Burkina Faso. But not just that, but if you really do the math and do the research, the Dogon are the Kemetans. The Dogon migrated from Kemet up into Mali from Kemet. And so they are, as far as I personally know, they are the most verified, or I should say, I would say the most credible in regards to having real receipts of the ancient pyramid builders that I personally know of is the Dogon tribe. They hold the Kemetic culture in those mountains in Mali. And that came directly from Professor Kaba, which I'm going to be dropping the first interview I ever did with him sometime soon, which is going to be dope, because when I tell you, even though it was my first one with him, the knowledge and the wisdom that he dropped on that, boy, I can't wait to drop that episode.
Ask him about the Shambhala Stone. He wrote the book about the Shambhala Stone.
I got that right here, the book on the Shabaka Stone.
I was working with him because, like, I he was in Florida, and I was just looking, you know what I'm saying? He gave us a couple of books. I was selling them at the Bronze Kingdom, but he's breaking it down. The stones are important to us. Understand what granite is. That's why Atlanta is the magnet that it is, because it's sitting on granite. That's why all Florida is weird, like even the temple. And I'm not the scientist to break all that down, but that's something if you really want to get into it, you'll understand what all these lands, what it is. You know what I'm saying? So,
and real quick too, like, excuse me, I'm gonna scroll through and see if there's any more quick questions before I get out of here, because like I said, I'll be back all week pretty much, family. But to get into what you were saying earlier, and it's so dope because and I'm grateful for the blessings of being guided by the ancestors to reach this part of my journey, right? But to be someone who creates out of stone, right? Well, you were talking about the giant. You were talking about the giant. You were talking about how he picks up the stone or whatever, and how he was probably the creator or creatrix of the stone. It reminded me I had to make some stones, like I think a week or so ago, a couple weeks ago or whatever. And in the process of creating them, I always kind of want to go in with like this vision of how I, in my own little mind, think that I want it to look. But when you're dealing with these stones, you're dealing with a real power, like you were saying earlier, like even the crystals, you're dealing with real energy. So, for example, this is one of my little stone babies that came out of my last little batch. A couple. But check this out, bro. As many times as I've done it, every time I do it, I have this thing in my mind where I think I'm gonna make it to look how I want it to make. And the stone like, nah, look, nah. You ain't calling no shots around here. I'm gonna come out how I want to come out. Like, this is what it's gonna be. But it's dope because it goes back to what you were saying earlier about the energy. Like, everything has its own energy, including stone. Right. So
you ever seen everything all at once?
Huh?
You ever seen everything all at once?
No, and I don't think I ever will.
No, I think you should check that one out. Everything all at once. I think that's one you should check out, because it goes back into sometimes they don't want us to be involved in those conversations. Because once you ever realize that you're everywhere all at once, you become that OLMEC character they call King the Conqueror. Oh, I mean, is that King the Conqueror, right? Think about it. Multi-dimensional, right? You're talking about obsidian glass, the multiverse, going through all these different realms, right? Once you realize niggas get way too powerful, start doing all sorts of weird shit, you know what I'm saying? Because niggas, you know what I'm saying? But when you're looking at I don't know, man. What was the original topic? My bad.
No, we've been bouncing around. And then we started taking questions too. But it was something that you said that really, like I said, resonated with me when you were talking about the pyramid. I'm not the pyramid builders. We talked about pyramids, but when you were talking about like the artists of the stones, like the creators of the stones. You mentioned the giant, and then it kind of reminded me about like when I go into making like my SU stones, how I'll have a vision in my mind of how I want them to come out, but it never goes the way I want it to. But I respect it because the spirit of the creation is going to dictate which way they're going to come out and how they're going to look. But it's dope because even when I be trying to mold it, you know what I'm saying, do all my little, all my little juice or whatever, like my little juju, creating and all that, putting it together, it's like I can have a vision of how I want it to be, but it's like, nah, no, it's gonna be how I want to be. You know what I mean? But it's still dope because I still appreciate it. You know what I mean?
That's what it was. When you said that, it just was hard to explain, but the stones are already alive. The OLMEC heads aren't unique. They're cool because they were seeds. They came back to remind everybody. They want us to ring the bell, but they're not really unique. Like I said, the Dopatet goes more in detail. Those niggas is us. The Naga statues, those niggas is us. The ancient Hindu statues, those niggas is us. Bro, when I tell you, like what you just said, damn, I keep losing it, but
Nah,
the
that's all
stone.
good.
It's a book called "If These Stones Could Talk," or "If the Mountains Could Talk," or "Stones Could Talk." But they're talking about American stones, and all of them are faces in the mountain all throughout. So there's something. It's a lot going on that we don't quite understand. When we're talking about giants, some of these ain't just stones. Some of these are petrified wood, and we're not understanding what petrified wood is. Like when you start getting into the mineral thing, you start hearing a lot of crazy shit. At petrified wood and blood, even with rubies. Being blood, everybody calls certain grades ruby pigeon blood or certain kinds of bloods or whatnot. Tourmaline is an energetic stone. That's why I was saying about the basalt being a magnetic stone, and they're also using magnetism. They're knowing how to do. They're not just doing sacred geometry for no reason. They're knowing how to do magnets. They're knowing what people would call magic. They're doing science.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? Vibration. I know for a fact they know about vibration because the Haitians are still doing it right now in Haiti. That stone, it's called a stone called iridium.
Yeah, and to me, I feel like that's what they were like they was metaphorically speaking about in Black Panther when they were talking about vibranium. I do wholeheartedly feel like
Africa got its own. Listen.
No, I'm saying, but in Black Panther the movie, I feel like they was like using iridium from Haiti as saying the inspiration for vibranium.
Hell yeah, they play in our face because in the Congo, the reason that they're fighting in the Congo is for those minerals. There's a meteorite in the Congo. All right, so you remember back in the day we were always talking about shungite. Shungite is a stone that conducts energy very, very well. Like I can start my car with a piece of shungite. If my battery dies, I can go to get a piece of shungite and start my car. You see what I'm saying? Shungite blocks electric magnetic frequency. Shungite is what they're fighting for in Ukraine. Remember, Trump is also pay attention to the chessboard. Trump is just the face of the chessboard. He's not nothing else beside the face. But what is the play? Are you paying attention to the chessboard or are you paying attention to the player? The chessboard is saying he's going for minerals. What mineral is important in that region? They have a black pyramid in Ukraine. They have shungite in these regions. Moldavite is in these regions. If you're talking about like future technology, and we're running everything tech right now, all these smart cars are ran off of silver and gold and copper and minerals, quartz, cobalt. That's what they're fighting for in Africa right now. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, and real quick, I got to do a quick shameless plug. First, shout out to Sobek Rahiru for joining the tribe, man. We appreciate you, family. Matter of fact, that's another thing. I got a private community call coming up this week. I'm not sure what day. I'm thinking tomorrow, Wednesday, but either way, I'll let y'all know that in the private community. But I got to give a shout out to the author of Starseeds, man. That whoever that brother is, he was talking about a lot of the stuff we talking about, especially when we talk about this thing called the Dogon tribe. So he literally wrote in 2019 a book about, the pyramid builders, about the Dogon tribe, and about, all the things that we're talking about, whether we're talking about Atlantis, Lemuria, you know what I'm saying? Like, we got a children's book that we wrote back in 2019 where we really hit all of these things, man. And as a matter of fact, let me just, so because those who really know the Dogon, boom, now look, would you say art imitates life? So we got the Dogon in art and we got the Dogon in life. Yes, sir. Look, while you were showing the real ones, I was showing the ones in the art, you know what I mean? Because like I said, like this is we don't like this is for real. We ain't on here like capping and doing it for the likes and the comments and shares. Like we really do this. Like we really been studying and researching and like living this life, man. And so I'm grateful to see all the people who's joined, you know what I'm saying, this movement, man, because it's a beautiful thing. And dope insight, bro. Definitely appreciate you.
Man, like I said, we can build on that forever and a day, man. It's so much to it. I hope that we did it some justice, that because all we did was paraphrase a lot of information in a small amount of time. But it's dope to have those conversations. Remember, man, the best investment right now is silver. If you can get some gold, get some gold. Silver is most definitely a good investment. Gemstones is a good investment. If everything else, you saw like they've been playing with it in your face for the last couple of years, just experiment what they're gonna do. We can always trade gold, and we can always trade silver. We can always melt silver and do what we want to do with it. You can always melt gold, do what you want to do with it. Artifacts, like build our own well springs. Shout out to doulas. Shout out to teachers. Shout out to people that's getting into I want to be segregated and be back into our own civilization, so we can make OLMEC great again. Make Mississippians great again. Make this Florida shit great again. Type shit. Make this Temuco great again.
Yeah.
So like I said, I hope we get answers well. Shout out to Kuwaddle, the grandest mother serpents.
I got one for you.
Coco Pele.
Let's make Black love, building, and unity great again. It never was not, but let's just kind of highlight the love, the healing, and the unity. Let's do that. I think that's something that I definitely feel like we got to bring a lot more love to, is the building, the healing, the loving, and the uniting. Like that's really what we need to be doing. I think that what about you, bro? I don't know. What about you, brother Nabi?
Community. The biggest thing we need to do, like you said, love. You just said it, like love, but like love without love is one of them words that people think is just there and done. Keep it going, keep action. If you say support me. Like support means boom. If sis makes a juice out of elderberry and tea, then I'm gonna support sis business. And I know that I don't want to get sick here. So this is gonna be a regular thing that I do. I'm gonna put $50 a month to support sis business. Or if sis do locks, if she's a loctician, then she pay 75. So we support each other. It's a network. Going back to that Cameroon thing, one of their symbols is the spider. The spider means networking. We have to understand that even if we don't like each other, motherfuckers make things like, oh, it's hard to love each other. What about this? What about? But if we start doing business and start talking about real shit, like whoever make the goal holds the rules. Let's start businesses together. Let's put motherfuckers talking about they can't make investments. I be talking to people, they be pissing me off out here. I be like, yo, bro, they were just talking about these gold backs. They got a couple of them for sale, but they discontinued them. Let's jump on it. Oh man, I ain't got enough to do, bro. If you ain't got enough, bro, we spend 200 on smoke. You spend at least 300 on junk food. I don't know how much money we spend on toilet paper,
bottles, cigarettes.
Bro, you need a lot of money for shit. You don't need a lot of money. You need discipline. All right, if you get paid every 2 weeks, put $100 to the side. Go buy you a gram of gold. A gram of gold right now is probably about 125 to 150, depending on where you get it from and the premium. If you buy wholesale, anything over $500, they can't tax you. Don't take my word for it. Just passed the law in Florida. Gold and silver in 2026 is the new currency. We're on the gold standard. You can wait for them to tell you, or you can wait for them to damn do it. Or on the chessboard, proper preparation prevents poor performance. Like, what are we waiting for?
And there's another currency that's extremely lucrative in these days and times too, man. And that's what we're doing right now. It's the information currency, the content creation currency, digital real estate currency. Like that's one that don't sleep, family. Listen, we got a lot coming up. I'm gonna be working on teaching like content creation and like especially YouTube. I'm gonna primarily focus on that because that's my thing. But I have a lot that I can't wait to share. You know what I mean in regards to like how to do this. Because
channel again, bro, just for your books, like you said, my son loves your book. Big up to you for dealing with community and dealing with kids. A lot of people get sent down the wrong direction because nobody's there to direct them. You got a young man telling you all this and saying he wants to be a Marine, which he just came to you and said, hey, I'm a soldier and I need direction. And he came to you, a Batala, that said, yo, this is what I want to be. You should tell him, listen, the white man military ain't for you, young man. you should. This is what we're gonna do right here, and we're gonna get you to become a best spiritual warrior out here. You don't need to live your life for nobody else, or somebody else to tell you to get down and do push-ups. You're gonna do push-ups out of initiative because you want to. You're gonna be the best. Now, if you're going for the experience and the training, you can still get that from any one of these organizations.
Right.
Do it for whatever you want, but at the same time, never let them trick you out your spot. And if you're in your spot, your throne is your mind. Don't let them trick you out your mind. Hey, motherfucker, going one way and come back thinking they somebody else.
Let me tell you something too, and I can't wait. I can't wait to see how you respond and react. But because I love to keep it a buck and be transparent. The young brother was actually a young white brother. You know what I'm saying? He was a young white dude. But my thing is this. I love what I do. So you think I change my message and how I talk and how I teach regardless of no, your skin color, no, because I'm giving it to you blood raw. And guess what? It still resonates because real recognize real. You know what I mean? So if you being real with somebody and they real or they operate on a real frequency, they're gonna rock with you. And so just for the sake of transparency, and I really don't feel like I had to say that, but because what you said just now, I'm gonna say it. Like, he was a white dude, like he was a young white brother, but I still like the way he responded and resonated. I was extremely impressed with him because, mind you, the same way I'm talking right now is the same way I was talking then. I don't change how I move regardless of where I'm at because I'm gonna give it my all with being me. You know what I'm saying? And if that's good enough, that's what's up. If it's not, that's cool too. But I'm not gonna change who I am and how I do things.
Well, I'll say this: respect to your energy for you know, the intention. Everything is based on the intentions. For me, as a black man, at one point in time was a black boy, and knowing my son is a black boy and gonna go through the same shit, I'd be like, certain people, they get the extra care and all this other shit. When young niggas just they gotta figure that shit out at a young age. Motherfucker told me at 7 years old, figure this shit out because you ain't got long. You know what I'm saying? So, so some people, I guess I'm desensitized to other people's problems. You know what I'm saying? Other people's plights and shit like that. But at the same time, I admire your intention because you don't know what this motherfucker might turn out to be. You know what I'm saying? So, and I ain't gonna cap, bro. At the end of the day, like I said, in the beginning of time, our enemy is them. We have to acknowledge if we're gonna say who the enemy is, we got to stop lying to ourselves and saying they're not the enemy. They didn't exist. Who was the enemy from the beginning of the time? Quetzalcoatl has a twin. That means his twin means his brother. Cain and Abel was his brother. That means they're the same race. Whatever the fuck, we're not talking about them at all. Exclude them out of all what we're talking about. Stay out of business right now. This is our business. But we're talking about 9 ethers versus 6 ethers. Nobody wants to have that conversation. But once you go into that 9 ether versus 6 ether, the exact opposite, or that Quetzalcoatl versus his smoke obsidian. That's why I said when you look into the obsidian mirror, they kind of touched on that movie Us. Your other self. You seen Us?
I think I did, but I wasn't really feeling it. Was it about the black family like that had the invaders and imposters? I don't think I finished it because I wasn't really feeling it like that.
You're a spiritual man, so sometimes I don't go into anything for feeling it at all. You know what I'm saying? The spiritual realm, I go into it like, what am I about to learn from this shit? Everything was when we're doing rituals, 11:11. If you're doing a ritual on the beach, that's already a portal because it's land meets air and water. The land and water is 11:11. It's to duality, right? All throughout us is mirror magic, shadow work magic, mirror magic, etc., etc. But the plot twist is so weird. It's just a lot of plot twists. You have to just watch it. I'm not going to try to go into it, but yeah, no, go into that as the shaman that you are, and watch it like a shaman. Because guess what? Some shit might be ugly as shit, but I need to figure out this shit because just in case I need to figure out how to combat this motherfucker, bro. They got a TV show called they got some show in Atlanta called oh my gosh, this is one of my favorite shows. I can't remember the name of it. Damn, it's like a voodoo show in Atlanta, bro. But that shit hard as hell. But they got a little demon girl, and she's the most horrifying monster I've ever seen. Freddy could never, you see what I'm saying? But none of these motherfuckers can't fucking look. She's from another dimension, and I love this show because they're tapping into some shit. People know what's going on. Now we have a conversation. We can talk about it. We can have play. I can't remember the name of this show right now, but when I figured out, we're gonna talk about it next time. But the thing is, we look at these demons, and we look at all these things that we're scared of and understand. When you look into the Lesser Keys of Solomon, he knows how to control these things: silver, brass, copper, This is what they're telling you in the Bible. They told you this all throughout. They're telling you it's in there, but niggas don't read.
Well,
you see, they're telling you on the tablets how to control jinns. That's what we're dealing with right now. Somebody's controlling jinns. When you're looking at presidents and governors, the first time you've ever heard the word president or governor is the Lesser Keys of Solomon, when Solomon said, I control legions of jinns or spirits. And each one of them legions was the governor or president. Now, why? If that's the first time you hear it, is the leader of demons. Why do we call people president now? If the origin, if the etymology of that word came from the leader of the demons that Solomon could control. The word president, governor comes for those demons. So when you're casting your vote, for whoever the fuck you cast your vote for, whatever they do, I think you get a part of that. You see what I'm saying? That makes sense. So it's like, I don't know.
No, that makes sense to me. And that's why, like, I don't participate in any of that stuff because that kind of keeps you tied to the system. You know what I mean? Like to the corporation. So it's like
we have our own order of things, and once we get back to our order, and if we fuck up on our order, we'll get dealt with the way we're supposed to get dealt with on our order because we really want to. All we want to do, like we said last time, all we want is our own land, fertile land. Like we don't even ask for that. If you gave us the South, you will never hear from us again. If y'all get y'all raggedy asses out the South, y'all go back to y'all islands, y'all take y'all ass back to Europe, y'all take y'all ass back to South Africa, y'all go wherever y'all want to go, but get the fuck out of the South. Florida, give me Georgia, give me the Carolinas, give me Mississippi, give me Alabama, give me Louisiana. Y'all keep Texas. I know y'all want to argue with Texas, want to do whatever the fuck y'all want. But if you give me those areas right there, we don't need shit else, and we the whole world will still watch everything we'll do.
That part.
Listen, that's how America became rich. If you think about it, the South.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Listen.
All the Roman stuff, all the fountain of youth was in Florida. The springs.
Listen.
The gopher wood that's all in Florida. The Garden of Eden. Look up the Garden of Eden. It's really gonna pop up in North Florida, bro. Like literally, the Garden of Eden is going to pop up in North Florida.
Listen.
Don't do it. Get out there and just look at the land that you're on. These people are trying to trick you out your spot. Everybody's saying, and no disrespect to nobody, but I listen. I'm a hear you out, right?
Yeah.
Oh, come back to Africa. Boom. Lady at my job said, I need to travel more. You need to go see the world. You need to study the world and understand that the world is a big place. Lady, I ain't got to study a goddamn place. You came here. Clearly, what we got going on here is better than everybody wants to be here. Chip you out the spot and send you to some other place where it's fucked up. When you listen, I can fight the devil that I know right here on my land where the ancestors, how John the Conqueror gonna fuck with me on this land.
And they gotta be fought no matter what land you're on.
You know what I'm saying?
No matter what color skin they in.
You know what I'm saying? But you're not gonna trick me out my spot. I'm from the Gulf Coast. The GGC belong to me. You see what I'm saying? From Mississippi, Gulfport, all the way to Orlando, 1416 Raleigh Street. You see what I'm saying? So you can't tell me that these aren't my like literally my grandpapa ran these lands. You see what I'm saying? Literally my grandmama ran these lands. So nah, bro, like people don't understand. They're trying to trick you out the spot. These people, I was listening to some shit about Akon the other day, and the first thing Akon said was his people came to America to make sure he was born in St. Louis. The dude that's the biggest reggae Afrobeat dude, bro, y'all looking at the music, his parents are billionaires. And they came to America. The biggest dude in Afrobeats, I don't know his name. They came to, I don't know about Burna Boy, it's another dude. I'm not for sure, but his dad is a billionaire. They made sure that they had all his kids in Atlanta. If that's the motherland, I get it, you're trying to use it for strategic, but if it's so great over there and America's so backwards and niggas is so, why do y'all strive to be over here and want the benefits that niggas over here been damn putting in work for and building?
I mean, ultimately, we are the trendsetters of the globe. I don't think a lot of people can really argue with that.
Exactly. So it's like not just the trendsetters. This land is holy land. This land is sacred land. This land, when they talk about Jerusalem, Jeru only means a city. USA, Jerusalem, Salom only means city of peace. but in the center of that you see the USA, and they say that stone would be founded on those 12 gemstones. We're talking about bricks, and nobody talks about the minerals that America has. There's nothing in nowhere that nobody got, that China got anything. They got some rare earth minerals. We do too. If you look at that one movie, it was a movie, a TV show on they canceled it, but it was about they were in the West, Midwest somewhere, in the middle of nowhere type shit. But the lands had portals in it. All
DeVito?
the huh?
Somebody put DeVito. Is DeVito the artist name? Because I'm not real. I don't know a whole lot of Afro beats. Look, first and foremost, shout out to my boy 100, because I meant to do that too. Shout out to 100, because 100 is the dopest Afro beats artist that I know personally, because that's the one who sings the intro and outro for the Ashe channel. But that ain't the only song he got. 100 is a beast. As a matter of fact, I gotta drop his whole like portfolio in the in the post section of the channel, because like his music is dope, and he produces and writes. So no, no shade to none of the other artists, but damn it, my favorite Afrobeats artist is 100 or nothing. So shout out to 100. Happy belated birthday, bro. Definitely appreciate you, the work that you do. He's a fellow Babalawo as well. Shout out to 100 as my own personal selfish favorite Afrobeats artist, but he really is dope.
Man, when it comes to the music, it ain't about where they from. It's about the intention and the engine that's pushing behind it. When you're doing music back in the day, think about it. Back in the day, you would see people singing on corners, and I don't know, maybe they still do it somewhere. They used to do the little jump rope and the hopscotch, and niggas would be on the corner singing. They weren't rapping too much back in the day. They were trying to sing. Everybody was trying to be the next Boys to Men. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people got kicked out when you start putting that dollar, that currency that they're controlling, the different kind of currency, that paper, because that's a note, it's a spell, it's a currency. They put spells on those dollars.
Oh yeah.
When the whole time we've always, the first money you've ever dealt with was gold and silver, because it's the spelling that people shit. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, like when somebody's doing music with good intentions and from their soul and everything else, it's beautiful. Everybody should get paid. But when you got, like, I don't like Burna Boy, because the second he get famous, you start saying weird shit out your mouth. Akon, the second he gets famous, you start saying weird shit out your mouth. Akon say Americans all so fucked up, but you came over here to get rich. You see what I'm saying? You're saying, why do they come to here and ask us to come to Africa and spend our money and everything? One, they're gonna disrespect us, but why they don't say the same shit to the Cubans? And they know all the Cubans down in Africa. Why they don't say the same shit to all these other African diasporas? They single us out, like we need to do this and we need to do that. But the funny thing is, they want to be here. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, you might not have to deal with so-called racism over there, but you got to deal with classism. And who got time for that?
Right. Well, and that's the thing, and that goes back to the division thing, and that's why I said, like, that's why I'm so adamant about, speaking out against it, because I know for me personally, like you, I'm pretty sure everybody on this call has had some sort of internal beefs within their own family. I'm talking about immediate blood family. You know what I'm saying? Like, whether we're talking about, you know what I'm saying, whatever the extension of the family, that happens, right? So then me personally, if any workplace I ever worked, any community I've ever been a part of, any whatever, there's always been like some sort of like cliques, or some people rock with these people, but they don't rock with those people. This people, you know what I'm saying? Like all that in every single environment I've ever been a part of, pretty much. I can say everyone, but everyone I can think of right now. But anyway, I say all that to say, I've never joined forces with anybody who was clicking up against anybody else, you know what I'm saying, especially in regards to circles that I move in, because I'm not doing that. Like I said, the only beefs I'm going to deal with is my own personal beefs, and I don't even want to deal with them, and I'm praying I don't have any of them, I'm for real, because I really don't, you know what I mean, because that's not what I'm on. I'm about building, bro, like making shit happen. That's what I'm about. And if it ain't about that, me with that bullshit, like, excuse my French, but I'm just saying that's how I really feel.
What's the top before we go, what's the top stones we should invest in Africa that you think you should invest in 2025, 2026 in Africa?
Man, you asking the wrong person. You got to ask you that question. Look, because if you ask me, I'm gonna say the number one investment I'm gonna make is in self, and that's like finding that peace, finding that freedom, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, financially. But that's not my, you know what I'm saying? Like the stones is something that I'm learning. That's new, kind of like the shrooms. Like I'm learning, you know what I'm saying? I'm studying, I'm researching, because like I said, I don't speak on nothing I don't know. I feel like I know a little bit about a lot, but at the same time, I'm
Hypothetically,
never
right?
going to speak on what I don't know. You know what I mean?
Hypothetically, Mansa Musa, all these different deities, whatever, the stone game, right? Now, whether you believe in the spiritual aspect, which is it is in all the spiritual aspect, or the financial aspect, the mineral game is what it's all about right now, right? So when you go, anytime you travel to any land, if I'm going to the Dominican Republic, I'm studying Larimar. If I'm going to Haiti, I'm studying whatever mineral that I'm going to that land, because at the end of the day, they might not even understand this technology. Rubies is all throughout Africa. Certain stones are all throughout Africa, right? So when you went to Africa, what's the first place you went to when you went to Africa?
Well, technically, the very first place I touched down in was Ethiopia, but that was just like a transport. Like, I had to go from Ethiopia to Lagos, and then from
Okay,
Lagos.
cool. You touched down. That's one of the best. Like if I'm going to Africa, I'm only going like 3 spots. Ethiopia is one of them. But Ethiopia has Ethiopian opals, very expensive stone. Me and your comrade actually had this conversation. If you haven't seen this movie, Uncut Gems with Adam Sandler in it, right? Have you seen that movie?
No, sir. I haven't seen that.
It's time to watch Uncut Gems with Adam Sandler. He's a Jew, Adam Sandler, right? The funny thing about it is, this is the only movie that they didn't push a lot behind it, because he was telling a lot of secrets in it. It's Adam Sandler and Kevin Garnett having a conversation about an Ethiopian opal. And he's like, yeah, you know, black people are Jews, right? Yeah. Y'all really need the stones, because he was breaking the shit down to him the whole time. And the whole time, Kevin Garnett is holding the stone and looking into the universe. And it was giving power, and he would go. And now, fun thing is, it bring power, but it gave you, like, even the dude, he won gambling, doing some weird shit. You see what I'm saying? The stone was powerful. You got to watch this movie Uncut Gems, but it was also telling you, you just said Ethiopia. So if you were to go to Ethiopia, you would go find a stone called Ethiopian opal, or any other gemstones they would have. They don't. Now, you're not doing nothing wrong, because white people do this all the time. They go over there to the lands and buy. Asians do it all the time. White people they go to the lands and say, hey, here's $50. Here's $50 American dollars. Give me some stones. They'll take these stones. They'll take these stones. Now, this is the financial play. They'll take these stones from these people and turn around and sell these stones for thousands of dollars. We're the only ones missing out on the thing. You might give them a better price, or a fair price.
Yeah.
But at the same time, being a traveling man, by you being a traveler, you might have access. Think about it. When you look up Ethiopian opals, you can look it up right now. There's no such thing as a cheap Ethiopian opal.
Well, no, I'm gonna say this, but that's where, that's why, like you say, and I appreciate it, man. But that's why this platform is necessary, because I learn just as much as the people who listen and learn. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm learning right now, and the dope part about it is I got connects in Ethiopia, I got connects in Ghana, I got connects in Nigeria. You know what I'm saying? So I got some folks in those areas, and not for nothing, but shout out to Master Yasir, who will be here, I think, in the middle of the week. He go to all them spots. So not only do we know people in these places, we're actually going these places. So I'm telling y'all, family, like, tap in with us, man, because I believe the next one is Kemet in August. I'll be sharing the links and all the information for that with Master Yasir this week. I think we're gonna chop it up Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken, but definitely keep stay tapped in, because we're gonna be shouting out the trips, and we're gonna be promoting them, because we definitely on that tour is Kemet, Brazil, Ethiopia, Jamaica, Ghana, and I think there's a couple more that he'll definitely he'll get into and tap into. But there's definitely
you ain't tell me all them, man. Look, I might ain't tell me with you.
And check this out too. And he just hit me up the other day. He got Klarna hooked up to the trips too, family. So listen, you ain't even got to drop the whole bag at one time. You can Klarna that mug, man, and make it do what it do. And I ain't gonna go too deep into it, but me and Dr. Shroom's been chopping it up. We working on bubbling up, cooking up some pots too. So check.
The brother you did the interview with,
yeah, me and him talked yesterday.
Big shout out to that brother, because I listened to his interview. He most definitely know what he's talking about.
I call him Dr. Shrooms. You talking about brother Sifu Oyi son. Yes, sir. Yeah, he gonna be back this week too. So like I said, we got a busy week this week, family. So I hate to
ask him about the next time you talk to him. Ask him about the OLMECs. Ask him about a month.
Come on the live. We're gonna do it again. I think I gotta look at my dates, because there's so many.
But if I don't, and y'all talking, there's a mushroom strain called Motempec. It's from Mexico.
Hey,
and once you take Motempec, yeah, I'm saying it right. But it's one of the highest. He probably knows about it. Like, when you take different strands of shrooms, you can see different shit.
Gotcha.
So Motempec, you start seeing and hearing. You can turn shit on with your mind. Like you can see. I saw Sekhmet all through my walls, like hieroglyphics on my walls. We saw all sorts of stuff. We started hearing Spanish and understanding the shit, and it was like, what the fuck am I understanding Spanish for? Type shit. Type shit. And like it does different things. Each one of them does something different. Like when they talk about golden teachers or penis envy. And the thing is, this is OLMEC culture. Remember, I told you they were medicine men.
Yeah.
They were dealing cocaine, they were dealing shrooms, they were dealing weed. Everybody say that stupid ass shit that the Mayans were smoking the Mayans were smoking tobacco. Oh, okay, they were smoking tobacco.
Listen,
like, look, Big Chief.
Listen. I hate that we got to do it, but I got to do it only because, like I said, it's gonna be a long week for me because I'm gonna be back pretty much every night this week. But check this out. But before we get out, though, I definitely want you to leave something with the tribe, and I want to give a shout out to the member of or I should say the listener of the channel. I'm not even gonna put the name on the screen because I wasn't trying to come off, you know what I'm saying, like aggressive or not, but at the same time, I do stand on what I believe in, and I believe in everything that is this channel. So they came back and apologized for the comment, and I appreciate that because honestly, I was going to actually say something to you too because I saw they kept on participating, kept commenting and all that. So it's like that's what this is about. This is about love. There's nothing about this channel, and the damn sure ain't nothing about me that's about anything negative, that's about any friction. And you know what I'm saying? Anything that's not flowing peacefully, it's not about me. Like that's what I aspire to do. That's what I aspire to be. And through the blessings of the ancestors and the creator, like this channel organically formed to do the same thing. Bro, I was looking at some comments yesterday. It might have been the day, and even like me and the wife was laughing because it be members of the tribe that be checking other people, like checking trolls, and it's like I love it because that's just how the atmosphere organically grew together, man. So it's like you're not understanding.
You're gonna always have people. It's a lot of agents out there. You're gonna have people that they can't like the channel because they're gonna steal your swag. They're gonna try to steal your ashe, right? So what they're gonna do is they say this shit. I've heard them say this shit. They pay people to come watch your page and gather information and bring it back. So the next time you see them, they're gonna probably have the same topic you had or whatever. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot going on. It's agents, but once you understand, and then even on the spiritual realm, it's jinn. But once you understand that you're on camera, as you being on camera, real quick, labradorite. When you're on camera, bam, a mother don't even understand. They didn't curse themselves playing with you a couple times because they don't understand the stone technology. If you're gonna be on camera all the time, a lot of stuff around you is technology to protect you.
I got stones everywhere, bro. Like,
look, you got that G9 behind you. I already saw that one. Like G9, like, and Dinkra, people don't understand how powerful all this is. You know what I'm saying? That's technology.
This brick is
that a quartz?
That's a brick quartz. I got about 8 of them. I got about 8 of them in the crib, bro. Like, I'm not playing around here. Look, I ain't playing. Yeah, I ain't playing, man. Like, I keep the crystals on deck, man. We keep them. Yes, sir.
Man, yes, sir. Let me be your mineral alchemist. We got a little bit of everything. You just tell us what you need.
Oh yeah, look. And then, this my little bowl where I keep another stash. I don't want to tip it up, but I keep a lot of them in here charging. So I got a.
And then it's too. Like if you look at how you keep stones around your house, if when the sun comes up, you have to look at the I don't know how everybody's house is, so it might be in a different direction. But if you put like Tigerite, Pyrite, Jade, or Venturine in certain corners of your house, it just helps to feng shui your house. You know what I'm saying? Or I might be saying that wrong, but you know what I'm talking about, no, huh?
Oh yeah, I got you. Yeah.
So it's like, no, man, the stones is technology. Our ancestors went into it. Once we understand, we want to talk about the ancestors. We don't have to talk about the ancestors no more. What did the ancestors do? What did the ancestors say? When you read them glyphs, they did serious. They standing on business. They cleared the land. They say they cleared the land, secured the land. What's that?
I don't even know.
That's organized. That's organized. That's
okay.
So organized. When they talk about Nicholas Tesla, all this other type of shit, right? That's not even his. Like people do. That's the thing that I want to push. Each one teach one. We got to stop doing the bare minimum research the pyramids, right? Tesla didn't do nothing. All he did was patent it, right? But and they fucked him up for that too, because he was still wasn't supposed to be putting too much shit out there anyway. But that's what they're still talking about right now that they're finding in Egypt. If them motherfuckers over there saying they built the pyramids, why didn't they know this shit was up under the pyramids? Yet Malachi York been talking about the shit being on the pyramids. They looking like they surprised. Niggas been like, damn, I thought y'all knew something was up. Nigga, y'all made a movie. I thought y'all knew that shit. Oh, y'all was just talking. So a lot of shit that they be playing in your face, they know this shit. Richard Pryor been told you this shit. You see what I'm saying? Richard Pryor been played the whole thing out for us. No, man, when we do real research, don't do the basics. Study, find out the language, etymology. What was their spiritual system? Then after we get off the basic shit, now spiritual system. Wait a minute. If that's me and I'm him, wait a minute. If we saying my God is a sky serpent, that wait a minute, didn't they say that in the Bible too? We don't want to have that conversation, but Yahweh's a dragon. Wait a minute, we don't have the conversation, but God told Moses that put the brass serpent up after he sent the dragons down to punish the unbelievers. That's in any tradition. I can go down it all day and tomorrow, but I'm not gonna do nobody homework for them. But at the same time, there's a lot of good presentations on it. But we are the serpent. Well, I'm not gonna say we, because everybody ain't built for it. It's a class. Everybody ain't built for that shit. But for the high priest, and most definitely high priest, we have a serpent jaguar plan. You see what I'm saying? That Killmonger, they knew exactly, they were playing in your face. High John the Conqueror, Cain the Conqueror, they knew exactly, they were playing in your face. All these different Cain, remember I was talking about High John go interdimensional? Cain the Conqueror, they've been playing in the nigga face this whole time. Now, once you realize, fuck the distraction of the dumb shit. Once I really tap into this shit and understand what they just told you. They just told you that you're Neo. They just told you that you don't have to bend the spoon because the spoon's not really there.
Yeah.
They told you that the whole Teotihuacan, I might be saying it wrong, but it's built like the Star Trek Enterprise because they were on shrooms with a bunch of crystals and teleporting different places. Like you just said, they popped up in the Grand Canyon. They're stargates, and don't take my word for it. All you gotta do is tap in and go see it for yourself. It's not some shit like nobody special around this motherfucker. You can tap in, go get some DMT, and go in the woods with some people to keep.
I ain't never even tried one of them a day in my life, but I done astral travel and I done been up out there, boy. I mean, I be going, I be. So you know what I'm saying? That's without any of that, like just being able to tap in.
Everything, exactly. Everything's a spiritual tool. This is a lion's tooth. I got this from a brother in Africa, right? So on the Lionsgate portal is one of the, like, for all of us being spiritual people, we need to have a spiritual calendar. But on the Lionsgate portal, I did DMT and I tapped into this. I want to show it to you now. Fuck it, I'll show it to you. And I tapped into it and I asked him, I said, who are you? And he told me who he was, right? And he was telling me that in our society, we're like ancient samurais, but not samurais. They just don't do no talking. So people don't testify him, right? So I'm talking to him, right? And he starts talking back. See, when you're on shrooms, when the ancestors were on shrooms, they talk to those artifacts. They talk to the statues. Can you see it?
Oh yeah, I like that. That's dope.
So and he's talking back. And he's saying he's an ancient samurai.
Yeah, that's dope.
Ones that started the ancient samurai. A lot of shit they be lying, talking about some older samurais were slaves. No. The only way you could be a samurai is to have a pair of black blood. The wall of Benin, is the same wall of China. You see what I'm saying? So nobody's understanding. They're doing the full research. Once you do the deep research and deep dive and understand who these people are and everything else, I just told you these are ancient serpent race, dragon race. They were already on some karate shit. So I'm telling you that these ancient entities did karate, they did yoga. I keep going back to that yoga thing because why do we have to get old to realize how important yoga is to us?
Well, and real quick too, on the way out, especially like what you just shared with that in regards to the samurai, that goes into why I personally feel like the Wu-Tang was as big as they was. You know what I'm saying? Like because think about it, like the RZA, like really the whole Wu-Tang clan was dope. You know, but the RZA was like the tip of the spear. Yeah, the RZA is the tip of the spear. You know what I'm saying? But that's not for nothing, not no slight to nobody. I'm sure everybody got their own Wu-Tang member, like everybody had their own Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. But at the same time,
the best in the group is the priest. The best in the group.
Well, I mean, that's why I said. I said the RZA was the tip of the spear, But at the same time, everybody gonna have their own Wu-Tang member, just like everybody had their own Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like,
Place with Killer Priest?
huh?
Do you know Killer Priest?
I don't know him. I
Bro,
know
he
of
does
him.
a podcast. He does a podcast. He's a very like dope brother. Sometimes he do look like people always have them. I hate when people put just random people on his show just for views because we respect this man so much. His mind is amazing. But Killer Priest's music is always dope. He's been spoken word poetry. But Killer
Right.
Priest is most definitely like even to this day still putting out like he's telling a story. He's that's what music was. That's what it was. We were telling stories through the music. And we don't understand because we don't understand the history of entertainment and how entertainment got intertwined with our storytelling.
Yeah.
So no, man, it's always great building with you guys, man. Like I say, shit, it's always a continuation. Hope next time, Rod, you gonna take us to infinity and beyond type shit.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we gonna be we here now, man. Like we here now for real. So it's like, and it's just growing. And like I said, that's why I always like to start, and finish with giving shout outs to the to the tribe, man, to the collective, because that's what this is about. But the energy exchange is what really, you know what I'm saying, like motivates me and it fires me up to go even harder. You know what I mean? Like, how much, like, bro, this is the second time we've done this, and how many like hoops that, you know what I'm saying, we had to jump through, and how many damn barricades we had to run over to make this happen, like including tonight. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, but this is why I do it, because I know, you know what I'm saying, it's way bigger than me. And I'm grateful just to be to be here in the seat with the opportunity, to do these things, man, because I see the impact that it's making. So United, like I said,
You got me in the black and red. It's Papa Legba Day, and you was wearing the white and red, and I was and had me in the black and red on Legba. So big shout out to Papa Legba too. We talking about the American guys.
Yeah,
so
hey,
yeah.
And Kabiesi Congo, yeah, too, man. Yes, sir.
No, man,
And Ojo Ajede.
black guys. This was a gift. This was I was telling you about earlier. A gift from Talak.
Hold on, let me bring it.
So
that's tough. Yeah, it's real tough. But yeah, this was dope, man. We're gonna do it again though, for sure. You already know. But much love to you.
You got any business? Shout out.
Put a
You got to just study ancient black gods. They can't deny you. If these are the ancient black gods with locks and big lips and noses and besses on there too. See, these be gifts from the ancestors. You know what I'm saying? So
I sure. Yes, sir. Yeah, we're gonna make it do again though, man. Like I said, we're gonna we're here now. So we got a lot of work to do, and definitely we here. And I can't wait, man, because there's so much like that's lined up for like the next it's just lined up. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait to get into it, because we definitely got a lot more energy and ashe coming through. And before we get out of here, man, shout out to the whole tribe and everybody who's watching now and who will see the replay. If anybody has any connects or contact with Killer Priest, KRS-One, Forbidden Knowledge, Inaya, Van Zant, who else? There's like several people that I've seen in the comments, or just people that's been
so it's Astro. We got to bring Astro Finesse back out, and so I can't remember that, but some so whatever. I like that little brother too. We got to bring him out.
Who that?
Damn. Spiritual soul. Spiritual soul. He's a young cat, but he be getting in there with the young people. He be putting out there working the young people. Okay. And Astro Finesse, because we still, like, if we're talking about the OLMECs, like I said, I'm not a master of all these different things. We're all tapping in, each one teach one type shit. But we gotta be master teachers on astronomy and understanding shit. Astro Finesse is like understanding him. He breaks a lot of good shit down. That's when you start getting into people understanding what tarot is, and even with the more science, when they're understanding the stars and the cosmic. So Astro Finesse, he's a dope one. Sister Myra Moss, I really want you to get Sister Myra Moss on the channel. She's amazing. Let me see. Like, just people that's real, bro. Like I say, real people that real conversations and not be on some higher than thou type shit. Like each one teach one type shit. It's a puzzle, and shit. Once we're like ain't no big eyes and little U's around this motherfucker. Because guess what? The higher you are, the harder you fall type shit. you know what I'm saying, on some no Diddy, no Shannon Shark type shit. So yeah, peace, guys, man. Any business you trying to shout out?
Yeah. Shout out to Orisha Stone. Shout out to the African Spirituality Experience. Shout out to the Akamalu Fest. The brothers
Coming
and
up.
sisters. Yeah, you gonna be there? You going? I know that's
Trying.
coming up. Okay,
Trying
so
to
shout
get
out.
there, but like I said, I don't know, because the weird thing about that is, man, I know we supposed to already know about it because it's supposed to be in our mental clock, but it was so much be happening. So when the flyer comes up, it be kind of short notice for me.
Mm-hmm.
But anytime I got like a 2 month heads up, I'm pulling up. You know what I'm saying? So much love to Tahir RBG. You already know, like that's like OG. Tahir RBG. That's where you go out there. It's gonna be in Gainesville. Most definitely, that's where like you go out there and feel the energy for yourself in real time right here in Florida. You ain't got to go away to Nigeria to feel some shit. You can feel the land right.
I'm gonna put the flyer on the channel too, for sure, family. I'm gonna get that flyer and post that on the channel.
Out here and this whole clan, like the goddess teammate, the whole clan, they were the realest motherfuckers in the game. Go look up, pull up. Yo, matter of fact, hold on. First off, pull up Tahir RBG. Go ahead, hit that subscribe, hit that like. But also, how you made it this far? You ain't hit the like on my bro channel. Like hit the like on the like. This helps, bro. Please hit like. Please hit subscribe. Please help. That's help the algorithm. The algorithm is not your friend, it's not your enemy. But at the same time, if you really want to keep the shit going and everything else, help the brother on his channel. Hit the like on his shit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like much love to all elders. Known and unknown.
I'm glad you said that too, man. And I'm gonna sign out on that note. But I'm glad you said that, because don't get me wrong, I'm happy, I'm grateful, and appreciative, and that's why I always shout out the everybody who is supporting the channel. But I think we had like 12.5K. We knocking down 13K, right? And that's cool. I'm very grateful for that. But I'm gonna tell you, the crazy part about it, bro, is like it's literally like 80% more people who watch this channel than that subscribe. And that's crazy, considering it don't cost you 1 penny to hit that button. Like literally don't cost you but 1 penny. It don't cost you not 1 penny to hit the button. But I promise you, bro, it's 80% more people who watch this channel than that subscribe. So it's like I never knew why content creators would say that, but now I get it. So anytime I go to somebody's channel, I'm hitting the like, I'm hitting the subscribe just because. If I watch a tutorial and I learn something, I'm hitting the like and subscribe just because because I know that's helping them. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, we trying to get this thing out here to grow, and to expand and to build. So it's like, for those shadow watchers, like if you gonna watch, just hit the subscribe, man. We'll appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, because it don't cost you not 1 penny to hit it. You know what I mean? But it is what it is.
We giving out free information because at the end of the day, we can't win by ourselves. Like fuck all the dumb shit. Like literally, you think one man is in the mineral game changing shit? These people stole your land and selling you back tumblestones. Meanwhile, becoming millionaires and trillionaires off your land and resources. The whole war over there, we're gonna always keep going back to that. In the Congo is over minerals.
Yep.
The war in Ukraine is over minerals. The war in Haiti is over minerals.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, it is what it is. But at the same time, shit, we give you this information because I need some more black mineral friends.
Yes,
they got into moldavite and into shungite and into all these different things. Like you're into cloud busters, but you're already into the future. Because in the future, with all this new technology, you're gonna need EMF protection, electromagnetic frequency protection. That's what causes cancer. With all these smart cars and everything else, and all this Wi-Fi and everything else, you're gonna need that thing. I have a bunch of it, but guess what? We need a bunch more. You should be investing. You should be investing in gold because guess what? Just because you don't know what to do with gold, besides where it is jewelry, don't mean they don't know what to do with it. They got gold satellites all in space right now. Silver is in all these Tesla cars. Silver is not unlimited. These aren't unlimited resources. So once you get the game, today it might be 3,600. Tomorrow it might be $10,000 for that 1 ounce. When are you gonna get in the game? Minerals, moldavite, tanzanite only stone from Tanzania, going back to stones from Africa. Tanzanite, of course, rubies. Rubies is a big investment. And like I said, you can always hit us up too because I got a nice plug on nice things. Like when it comes to silver, gold, I don't just get anything. I get nice things that represent our culture. Fuck what they got going on. I don't need 1,000 American Eagles. I got them though. Hold on.
Listen.
You can get nasty.
Hold on, let me pull.
And this is 5 ounces. Yeah, that's 5 ounces. Yeah, that's 5 ounces silver, pure silver. Now that represents an American chief. They also have these bisons, right? And even on the coin, if you study like not just what it's saying, study the history of the coin, the date of the coin, the bison, all that's telling a story. This is how they used to tell stories of American history on the money, like the Liberty Bell and everything else. So they're telling the history. So one, even have back in the day, the ancestors used to always tell you to have a little silver coin or a mercury nickel, a mercury dime on you, something like that. It was good juju, right? But they understood the power of silver and gold and everything else outside of what we thought it was. Saying back in the day, we thinking our ancestors were getting gold name out to be flashy. The whole time they were doing all sorts of rituals and juju. This is ancient in our. So we can talk about that all day tomorrow, bro. Like I said, man, I hope we did the ancestors justice and most definitely big up to the OLMEC, the Chi Nation, to the Timukawa tribe, Washita tribe, Ancestral community, the Hoodoo community, everybody that stand up on real shit, standing the Nubian, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the fuck you want to call yourself right now, if you standing on righteousness, if you standing on like something that make black man look, making black men great again type shit, I'm fucking with you. I'm fucking with you. Big chiefs all around the globe, you know what I'm saying? All is one type shit.
Yes, sir.
So
ain't nothing else to drop. I mean, to say off of that, man, because that's it right there. So, I ain't even gonna. Yeah, I ain't gonna say nothing else. That was it. I'll say united we stand, divided we fall. You know, I am because we are, I am, and that's where we at. We here now. So shout out to the tribe. Shout out to all the elders, all the everybody who's been coming through, holding it down. Just dropping heat, spitting flames all over the place, man. I give nothing but love, gratitude, and sincere appreciation, man. I appreciate you all. Appreciate you, brother Nabi Orisha Stone. Yeah, another phenomenal episode, man. So, family, this has been another episode of the African Spirituality Experience. I am your host, Orisha Bami, and we will see y'all again tomorrow. We're coming back with Wunam and a dope show to really bring some new elements into these Ashe streets. So with that, we'll see y'all tomorrow night, man. We out of here, family. Peace. I'll holler at you, bro. And if you can, text me the it was something you said that I was asking if you could text it. I can't remember what the heck it was now.
Multipic, it's the Mexican strand of shrooms.
Okay. Yeah. That's what it was. Okay, appreciate you. Yeah, if you could text me that, and I'll get it to Dr. Shrooms, and we'll build on that.
Peace, God, man. It's a pleasure, man. For real.
Always, man. You already know. So, family, I appreciate y'all, man. It's been another episode of the African Spirituality Experience. I am your host, Orisha Bami. We'll see y'all tomorrow night, family. We out. Peace. Odabo.
Ẹni tó gbàgbé ilé ṣàpò ìyàgbọ́ tẹ́ǹtì ẹni takísà ní tàtàn ò bá padà sílé anítìjàkọ ẹja lọ pé eégún mo ṣe ní gbẹ́rẹ́ ìpàkọ́ forsake not your ancestors and praise your.